So, G4 is coming back to television.
Hooray!
Well, they technically never left. They've always been here. They're just not getting removed.
Well, it looks like we're just going to have more reruns of Cops and Cheaters.
And college cops.
Yeah.
And college cops.
College cheaters.
Things to watch at 2:00 in the afternoon.
I don't think it's going to last very long, but
Yeah, they're gonna have a hard time seeing genuine.
You don't need a TV network like that anymore. You don't need it.
Nah,
It's taken over.
It's very 2004 or something. It's just not.
Yeah, even more than losing to Spike, they've lost to the internet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, big time. I mean, that's where we come in, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
we're way more entertaining than that entire network.
We're the new G4 bitches.
We're much better than G4.
But we would easily, happily work for you guys.
Yeah,
G4,
if you guys
please.
want us. Hey everyone, you're listening to Another Way Around. This is the AwayCast, episode number 23. I'm here with Gregg Andrew Delarocca.
Hello.
I am John Azalona, and I'm sitting next to Dan Devine.
Hello.
And coming live from Chicago is Joshua Hinkey. Say what's up, Josh.
What up, yo?
There's Josh.
There he
The
is.
gang's
Josh
all
got
here.
an interesting middle name there. Josh Wahinky. Is that what you said?
Joshua.
Oh, Joshua.
Joshua
Do
Hinkey.
we ever call him Joshua? We don't really do that.
No, only my dad calls me Joshua when
It's
he's
very
pissed
biblical.
Well, I
Yeah.
did. It's very
Joshua.
Whenever I hear Joshua, I get nervous because I'm like, oh, Dad's pissed somewhere. Like,
Some Cain and Abel thing's gonna go down.
Joshua kind of sounds like a stoner name, like Joshua.
Joshua.
Like your
Josh.
He's like a California surfer guy. Like, yo, Joshua, we have to go down and
Yeah, bro.
some turtles just came on the beach. We got to check them out, Joshua.
Why? You gotta check the turtles out.
Why not,
Joshua.
Uh,
Wait, Joshua.
Yeah, Joshua.
It's two names.
JAH-WA.
What if his nickname was just Schwa? Like, yo, Schwa.
Yeah, no, that's
we
why,
gotta go
like,
Schwa.
JA-SHWA.
There it is.
you're
That's
from
he got it. He got it. He got it.
Joshua.
Thank you, Joshua.
Oh my God.
Like French.
Now no one's going to know who the hell I am.
Joshua.
His name's Josh.
Hi, I'm Joshi.
I'm Josh.
Hi, I'm Joshua.
I like Joshua from Hawaii.
I like Joshua. All right. We got his name.
All right, we all just rambled over each other for like 3 minutes. Hi, welcome to the podcast, everyone. Dan, you had a very exciting weekend this weekend, didn't you?
I ate today and stood, ass to dick with a bunch of Italian men and women in the San Gennaro's feast. That's what I did.
I don't know if there's a lot of Italians there anymore.
No,
Is it?
it's been divvied up. Yeah, I went to the San Gennaro's feast this afternoon. I guess it just started. It's the 87th annual.
It's on Mulberry Street, right?
It's always on Mulberry Street, bruh.
Yeah. Just for the people who don't know, who aren't keen with New York.
This is a New York City staple. It's almost 100 years strong, and Little Italy in New York City used to mean something. Now it's just it's about 4 blocks of bad touristy Italian food. And
Okay, so this is like a festival.
it is a festival of sorts. It's a mixture of flea market, sausage and pepper heroes, and a couple of really dangerous looking carnival rides, and that's about it.
Yeah, man. Last year I went there. I went at night. They have that zipper ride. I don't think they move it.
The Lawnmower Man ride?
I don't know.
You know, the guy that tumbles around in a circle? That's from
There always is like one story of like those things flipping over. We have them at our state fair in Minnesota. Like they'll bring in all these like super sketch rides, and I always hear like secondhand that one of them flips over and stuff like that. I'll never go on those things. That is death. You are challenging death.
I wonder what committee or regulations they have to pass with like street car.
None.
Yeah. Like
No, it's fucking...
Dude, the cops are on their side with that. It's like old world stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. My
it's the
dad was
Wild
a New York
West
City
out there.
police officer. He used to detail that in the 80s. My mom was going since she was like 9. It's like
Yeah, but
50 years strong.
What are you saying? Like they inspect the rides?
I'm saying that it's a closer, like nobody's shutting things down there. It's like an institution.
It's like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. Like it's just a time's sake. Like, but I'm saying, imagine you're that cop that day. You go to work, like, all right, you're on carnival inspection duty.
Yeah.
Go there with the flashlight. Check out the zipper ride, like the metal cage. It's like
The carnies are bribing you not to look at the ride with like goldfish. Here's a free goldfish.
Hey, copper.
Normally you have to throw a ping pong ball into a garbage pail to get this.
Hey, copper. Look the other way.
I was talking to a guy at one of the stands. They make like $50,000 a week, easy.
Well, the traffic that goes through there is it's wall to wall people. It's impossible.
Or $50,000 a day. I'm sorry, something like that. It's like
that'd
ridiculous.
be funny if like after the car, like they take on that persona of like dirtbag carny, but really when they leave, they're like all have like Maseratis and like beautiful houses.
Like there's some sort of
New York penthouse apartment.
Yeah.
There's some sort of appeal to it being like the old world carny stuff since that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
For real.
Well, the guys that flip the sausage and peppers, they're good guys, but you got to have the eye to find the right sausage cart. There's 50, and
they're all
you
the
got to scope it. If they sell gyros too, you fucking keep right on walking.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah,
you can't be
they have
mixing
to-
ethnicities. Like
be doing one thing.
it looks like an Italian guy with like a big nose, and he's
want
just
some-
like Italian as fuck.
You want some tzatziki sauce on your spaghetti? Oh, no, falafel and your falafel.
You know me, Mr. Ambiguous Ethnic Man.
We got falafel parmesan. I'm Italian. Come on.
Hit the nail on the head, yeah.
Yeah, but they also sell American treats like fried Oreos and Twinkies.
They've got
and shit
all
too.
that. Yeah,
Oh,
carnival
I love
stuff.
deep fried
you
Oreos.
can't escape it.
Do they have that game where you have to shoot the star out with the machine gun?
There's not that many games. It's
You
all
mean
food,
like the
really.
water gun with the little...
No.
No,
There's
the
movies.
No,
The
this
BB
is
gun,
old
yeah.
stuff. It's all like, I don't think I've seen a change in a very long time. They still have like shitty characters like Shrek and stuff. They haven't updated.
Really?
Yeah. Our amazing characters like Shrek. I'm sorry, guys.
Like,
I was just gonna say,
I know how big a
that's
fans
not
you
really,
are.
Nice
like
thing to say.
Twinkie.
Ogre.
No, it's all Shrek. Everything in the park is Shrek.
Nice.
Yeah.
San Shrek feast.
Yeah, the San Gennaro feast.
Shrek.
Yeah, Shrek is an Italian staple, so I understand why he's
Everybody
there.
knows that.
That's better, Dan.
Yeah, it used to be great there, but it's gotten weird. It's touristy, and it's a flea market. They just sell like Chinatown crap.
But when I go there, I was telling Dan, I usually find one restaurant, and usually they have like a prefix, and you go and you eat and you get drunk on wine and you enjoy your evening and go home.
When I went with my parents when I was a kid, they used to allow you to drink on the street where it was closed down, so everyone was fucking sloshed, and the bars made no money on the booze because they were just selling outside, and it was awesome. It seemed like a better thing when I was like, there were the bigger smiles and smaller piles of people, and the community vibe was there.
Yeah.
Now it's just wall to wall strangers. Everyone's kind of mad because it's just so tight and packed in there. I didn't feel that way before. It's just everyone's shoving past each other.
I
the
agree.
food's still good, but it's
course.
fucking expensive.
But you can
Holy
go to those.
shit.
You can go to those
Like
restaurants.
$12 for a sausage and pepper sandwich.
Those were 10.
You can go to those
You know.
restaurants without going to San Gennaro's though. Like those restaurants are still there. So
Yeah. There's something I don't know. I went when I was a kid. My mom went when she was a kid. I think her grandmother went when she was a kid. So
course.
it's just like we go.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I went with my family. We had a good day, regardless. So
I try to go every year, but it's I'm trying to think. Like when I was a kid, when I used to come to the city, took the train in, and do you think it's just because we're jaded old folks now?
what's that?
That what's that?
Excuse me.
Like, do we romanticize it because?
You mean wait? Do we?
When we were kids, we were naive, so we didn't like look at people like, man, I have $10 for sausage and peppers.
This is for real. This is no wistful nostalgia. It's like Little Italy used to be a neighborhood. Now it's 4 blocks. Chinatown completely, literally enveloped it. So it's, a shadow of its former self, this little celebration.
Like a theme
and
park.
Little Italy at large.
It's like not even a real place anymore. It's like a.
But it's 3 things. It's sausage and pepper cart, shitty trinkets, and fried Oreos, like over and over, repeated, copied and pasted for 5 blocks.
It's probably just Chinatown, and they built like a fake, one of those
like a wild,
And then
like a
after
Wild West.
Exactly, they put those like fake buildings up, and then after the show, they bring it back. They tear it down, and it's back to being Chinatown again.
It could be. I feel like it's a block longer than it usually is on these 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks long, by the way. If you listeners want to get in this wonderful...
It's 2 weeks.
Fest.
It used to be 1
I was
week.
going to say,
right?
you've really
2
sold
weeks.
it hard.
I sold
I
it
was gonna
so
say,
hard.
yeah, we're
You go-
pumping it up.
Go and get a sausage and pepper hero on Mulberry and Grand Street, and then go home.
And then
I suggest you do that.
Cannoli too. Get a cannoli.
Cannolis they've been not as good. They've gone down in quality. Unless I lost the right booth, they're good. It's a cannoli. I have really high standards though for that. I go to I live in New York City, so I just only go to the bakeries that I think are perfect.
Yeah, it's almost like people coming in from the Amtrak and in the airport, they're like, go to San Gennaro's this week. So Josh, how's football? Let's get this over with.
I like football. Let's hear about football.
Football's
Shut up a second, Josh. Will you shut up a second and let somebody else
No,
talk?
no. I have heartbreak to explain, all right?
Okay, well, I have boxing to get into, but football first.
Okay.
This is a sports podcast now, gentlemen.
Okay.
I'll make it very quick. The Vikings are 0-2. Yeah, and it was sad. It was very sad. We had a lot of people over though. I made Eggs Benedict this morning for the first time ever. So I'm feeling fairly accomplished in life.
I love it. Eggs Benedict's one of my favorite. How'd the hollandaise come out?
I'm not gonna lie. I just actually bought hollandaise sauce from Trader Joe's.
So
I didn't
all good, dude.
All you did was cook an egg and put a piece of ham on it.
No, you didn't cook an egg. I poached an egg. This is the first time I've ever poached eggs. That's the thing. It's a process.
How do you poach an egg? You mount it on wood and put it in your office?
You ask it very gently.
No.
You drop it into boiling water. You got to crack it into boiling
boil it in water, and you have to put vinegar in there so that it coagulates faster, and you have to kind of guide the whites to make sure that doesn't spill all over the place.
Eggs be cray, yo.
Eggs be cray.
They're nuts. They're nuts. But then we drank a ton. Like, I find that I drink a lot of shitty beer when I watch football, which is really bizarre because normally I don't like drinking like Miller Lite or Coors Light. That stuff just kind of grosses me out. But when it's football, for some reason, it's probably because there's all those beer commercials just flooding my living room. But it just feels all right. Maybe even appropriate.
No, you've been conditioned like a proper American. I'm
no
a man, I'm dumb, football, Bud Light.
Exactly. Like as soon as the game comes on, I'm just like, well, we better get a Coors.
Yeah.
And so, but they lost. It was a heartbreaking loss. So that's
all right,
it.
man.
I think in sports in general, when you're watching them with groups of people, if you have idle hands and it's not on a beer,
right, you just feel so stupid.
You feel really dumb. So that's
especially like we're really animated watchers. Like we scream at the TV and we run around and like so to not drink while you do that feels really dumb.
Right, and that's why you drink the crappy beer because there's more of it because there's more time.
Yeah.
So you always have to. You don't want to be that guy who's holding on to an empty beer just to be holding something.
And just because you're chugging it down, you don't want to like chug a Sam Adams Oktoberfest or we have a Goose Island Green Line IPA. You gotta chug shitty beer.
Yeah, no, I'm always taking big gulping mouthfuls when I'm watching a sporting event. It's just the way it is.
Now, have you guys seen those Miller Lite cans where like they pop a tab with them so that you can pour them faster or chug them faster?
You can shotgun. They've implemented like industrial strength shotgunning on the top of the can.
It's so classy.
Finally.
God bless America.
I just missed it in college by like just a handful of years.
There's always going back, dude. You can go straight back.
Just a shot. I'm here to
just shotgun some beers. I mean, you could run a frat. You'd be like Jeremy Piven in PCU. Huh? Anybody? That reference?
Nope.
No.
Yeah. It was one of those movies that they played on Comedy Central in the 90s constantly. It's David Spade, Jeremy Piven. No, it's really funny. It's a really funny, funny film.
With that comedy duo, I'm surprised that it managed to dissolve to the sands of time.
Nobody knows Jeremy. Well, I guess now he's a comedic actor, but like Entourage is barely it's like a cool comedy.
Yeah.
He's funny all the time, but I don't really want to talk about Entourage.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move away from this. We're in dangerous territory.
Greg, how was your weekend, pal?
I was good. I went to, I was hanging out in Spanish Harlem last night. I got some bootleg DVDs.
That's pretty good. What'd you end up? Well, should we talk about this? Because I don't know. They might come get you.
That's fine. Bring it. I got Monsters U. I got The World's End. And and This Is the End. Those three. And I got home today and I checked them out. And guess what?
Pretty good.
They're all pretty good. They're all pretty high quality.
Really?
Yeah, I made out. The only thing is the World's End one has Japanese subtitles on it. So I'm not that happy with that, but Monsters U is perfect, and so is This Is the End. Perfect.
Really?
What was the price point on the three? Did she sell
I tried
you on
to haggle. No, she tried the. Well, yeah, she tried the deals. She the first thing she threw at me was the 5 for $20 deal, and I didn't want 5. In fact, I didn't want any at first. I tried to get her away, and then she put them in my face, and I was looking. I was like, I kind of want to see some of these movies. And she did such a good job. Here, they're right on top of the game cases right there. Look how nice the packaging is on these things. Like,
yeah, these are the regulars.
Yeah, I've never bought.
That's nice
movies.
packaging. I've seen like Jamaican guys selling that next to incense every day.
I don't buy bootleg movies.
I mean either.
I never have in my life.
This Is the End is totally available. I'm looking at a torrent right now with 40,000
Well,
seats.
listen, Greg felt
you got a deal. I'm not.
It cost me. Look, it cost me $12 for those 3.
Nah, what are you gonna do? Not bad.
And what was really funny, this woman, she literally came into a restaurant I was eating in and sat down next to me to sell me these while I was eating. Yeah.
Ballsy move.
Yeah, I was eating breakfast and she sat down next to me and she probably handed me a stack of 100 movies, and I'm looking through, and every single one I look at, she's like, "This very good movie, very good." Like she watched all of these movies. Like I pick up Elysium, and I'm like, "So good, very good, very good." You know,
she probably
widely
sat down.
known shit movie.
Yeah.
Greg got excited. You probably thought she was like a hooker sitting down, right?
No, I was with a female. So
I would love to see her like movie catalog review and just see her give 4 stars to everything.
Yeah.
All movie I saw very good.
I told her.
That's the write up for everything. Very good. I saw.
Yeah, that's pretty much what she was saying. But she delivered. They look good, except for
Japanese subs.
World's End.
World's End was okay.
I didn't see it yet. I'm still gonna watch it with the Japanese subtitles. I don't mind.
Yeah, This is the End was hilarious. I thought it was a really good.
The quality
time.
is perfect on that one. So
That's
I'm
crazy.
excited. Monsters U. I watched only a tiny because the girl I was with. I promised that I'd wait for to watch that one with her.
I'm making promises already.
And
you blushed right there. You can't see a blush.
I didn't.
No,
blush.
we all heard it. It was really loud.
I didn't hear the blush.
Continue.
And so that one, I was really impressed by how good Monsters U looked. So I'm looking forward to playing, to watching these great films.
Playing?
Does that mean these have to be available on the internet? If somebody has it on a disc and it looks any good, it's got to be ripped.
I'm
right?
sure they're somewhere.
Unless he did it
But that's still
himself.
in theaters, or is it not?
What?
All 3 of them are. Yeah.
This is the End. Is
This
still
would
in
not be the
theaters.
first time
Yeah.
that movies
That's
were
so
released
long
in
ago.
theaters and also torrented.
Right.
Also, I
true.
assume there must be a community for this because of how good
Yeah.
the box art is. There must be like a place you go to get the perfect box art. 'Cause
Sure.
It is like high res.
It looks like you could take that and put it in a jewel case.
Yeah, probably. Like that
that's
one's
the
fucked
shape
up.
it
So
is.
I was lazy on putting it back in there. But if you look at those, you can see that it's pretty good.
No, you know what they do? They hire graphic designers like us. Like, yeah, just find some screenshots on Google.
Well, I assume
How hard could it be?
I assume there's like a community, and then you just download them from like the sites, and there's people who just make the cover art.
Right.
We should scan these for errors. That could be a fun little thing.
I'm sure there's plenty, but so yeah, well, they recommended going to Little Italy. I recommend going to Spanish Harlem and buying bootleg DVDs anytime you want.
Hope you guys are paying
New York
attention.
City.
This is the New York City, the AwayCast activity list.
Yeah, Josh.
New
so
York
pay,
activity list.
Pay attention. So when you come next
Summer
month,
2013.
We know
activity list.
where
yes.
to go get bootleg DVDs.
right? Well, Josh requested that when he comes next month, he gets a good slice of pizza. So we'll take you straight to Papa John's, Sbarro, and
Domino's.
The big
Domino.
3, bro. The big 3.
I'm just gonna sit there and be like, oh man, it tastes so different here than it does everywhere else.
We'll take you to Pizzeria Uno Chicago
Ooh,
Grill.
they have deep dish style, I've heard.
Yeah. Ooh, hold on. My pop filter just dropped here.
With the pop filter here.
My pop filter was saying, John, shut the hell up. Let's
Yeah.
talk about video games.
Finally.
It's true.
That's where that goes.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, Josh, let's start with you, bud. You actually did a review for us. You did the Puppeteer.
Puppeteer, yeah, it was all right. Puppeteer is 2D platforming puzzler in some respects. Basically, the only it feels like your average platformer. Like there's kind of been a renaissance of the platformer these days. And coming off of Rayman, I felt like it was definitely getting the short end of the stick because Rayman's awesome. So to go from Rayman, anything compared to that is going to be pretty subpar. But the only other mechanic it introduces, aside from the standard platforming stuff, is this scissor mechanic. And so you cut through like sometimes you need to jump on a pot and it'll shoot out smoke, and then you can cut through the smoke to get to where you need to go. Or this is where it gets weird because a lot of the stuff is nonsensical, and especially when I say it. Like, for instance, there was a bunny, and when the bunny would run past you, he'd shoot stars out, and then you'd have to cut through the stars.
Josh,
So in some ways, it feels like an acid trip.
Josh, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
I want you to look straight up at your ceiling. Tell me what you see.
Wait, is that...
Josh,
I know
know.
exactly.
Look,
I know what
look,
he's talking
look,
about.
look straight up at your ceiling and tell me what you see. Just
Are you talking about this fan?
oh,
Oh.
is there a fan on in your room?
Yeah. It sounds so lightly.
Either
Well-
that or you're on a treadmill, bro, because it sounds like
if
you're
I was,
breathing
if it was
heavy.
on lightly, how all the way over here in New York am I able to hear it?
Oh!
Because you have the ears of
I
a
do.
very good hearing person,
I do.
Is that what that is?
as opposed to some
What's
animal.
happening is
motor?
Every time Josh talks, it's coming through.
because the gate is opening and then the fan is coming through.
Oh.
So way to go, Josh. Destroy the integrity of the AwayCast.
There's actually and as opposed to last week where it was super hot and I had a fan on. It's actually very cool.
It's beautiful.
There's
Just
no
open the window.
No, it's actually fine. I had no reason to have that fan on.
We're gonna start hearing like little creatures outside.
Little crickets.
Josh.
Yeah. So Puppeteer.
I know you reviewed the Puppeteer, so you're completely absorbed in it and everything. But let's start at the front of Puppeteer, man. You're talking about bunnies. You're talking about scissors. Where do we start in this game?
Wish I knew. I watched the intro sequence. I have no idea what's going on in that
I
game.
played the game and I'm still kind of confused
Well,
about
I mean,
it.
yeah. So like, it's basically this theatrical performance that this narrator is doing, and they do a great job of capturing the illusion of the theater. And like when you start the game, it's like drawn curtains, and it opens up, and this and like the puppets all move around very much like this guy is controlling them. They all feel like marionettes and stuff like that. And so like that is a cool aesthetic. It works really well.
Did you get the feeling that maybe they designed the game in like the wrong resolution or something like that? And when they put, and then they put the curtains on the side.
The curtains on there just to mask it?
Exactly, yeah. Because I felt like those curtains, I always felt like I was playing a lower quality game because the screen was shortened by those curtains.
Well, let me tell you what happened with me with the Puppeteer. I got all excited that it came out, and I went home and I had a $20 PlayStation Network gift card, loaded it on. I said, I'm going to get the Puppeteer. I look at the price tag and it says $39.99. So this whole time, unknown to me, this was actually not a PlayStation Network title. This was actually a full title.
You think that it was a
box title?
No.
Oh, so you thought it was a $20 title? I
thought it was like $14.99, $19.99 tops. Like I was gonna just like an Xbox Live or a PlayStation Network title, just because like you said, we're totally there's platformers everywhere at this point. A lot of them are coming in as indie games or summer titles and stuff. So when I went to get it, I realized that I don't want to. First of all, I have a small hard drive on my PlayStation, so. I had Dan pick it up for me on his way over to do another way around of it, but we destroyed that. We lost the audio for it. So,
well, and it's developed by... I'm sorry, go ahead, Dan.
Oh, no, just saying we lost the audio for that, which sucked. But Greg and I actually...
Yeah, we redid it.
Picked up the pieces.
And it was better.
It's developed by Studio Japan, who has they have a very hot and cold history. They did Tokyo Jungle last year. They have Rain coming out later this year, and they always do super high concept things. They're always really, really interesting from like aesthetic or the conceit of them is very interesting. But then once you actually start playing them, sometimes there are going to be massive hiccups along the way.
You said the first thing you said was the best takeaway I got from it was it's a very original aesthetic. It was a very good looking game. I didn't finish it, but so far it's a very good looking game, and they use the microcosm of a theatrical production like puppets to their advantage when creating a lot of the clever assets for the game. So when you're in the water or you're going up a waterfall, there's wavy sheets as if it were a theatrical production. Obviously, everything is very clearly made out of wood or fabric. All the enemies, when you come into contact with an enemy or something comes into contact with something, collides with something, there's a wood sound. So they do a good job of creating this world in general. But I feel that a lot of the gameplay is pretty lackluster.
Yeah, I mean, it's not very tight. It kind of feels... It's a little bit challenging, but it feels challenging because it doesn't feel like the gameplay is very good in defining things. Like there's so many times where I'd be like, oh, I'm definitely going to make this jump. And then like I'd slide off of a balloon or something like that. And I'm like, well, how did I not do that? I feel like I timed that jump perfectly. And it's a lot of stuff like that where it just feels very, I don't know, just a little off. And like even doing all the scissor stuff, eventually you go like, holy crap, I get it. There's scissors. And all of the boss fights end with quick time sequences, which is really, really annoying.
So you get, after completing different bosses, you get different powers. Like you get bombs, you get these scissors, you get, what else is there, Josh?
You get bombs, scissors, you get a hook that you can shoot, and you get...
hook shot?
Yeah, like essentially a hook shot.
Ocarina of Time?
Ocarina of Time?
Ocarina.
Acceptable.
No, it's not.
I know. Just move on.
Yeah, and so you have a few different abilities, but they give them all to you. You have them all by halfway through the game. So like the entire back half is really like you're like, I've done all of this stuff. I know how all of this works. And it feels like they came up with the concept of the game. It feels like someone wanted to make this game about like with this puppet aesthetic way more before they ever figured out how it was going to play.
Yeah.
And I think that like becomes evident in like the cutscenes, because the cutscenes are so long and there's so many of them that like they just start to lose their luster after a while. They start off really cute and endearing, but by the end you're like, holy crap, I literally have watched more of this game than I've played.
Yeah.
Let me tell you my biggest problem with the Puppeteer. There's the wide variety of heads you can get. This game is all about getting different heads for your puppet.
It's about getting head.
You gotta get head in this game.
Snap.
So you get different heads. Like you get like a panda head, you get a fish head, a cheeseburger head, you name it. There's like 100 heads in the game, and in each level, man, it's so hard to explain because the heads take hold of a lot of different aspects of the game. The heads are your health. You get 3 hits, so you have 3 different heads at any given time. But the mechanic of the heads is when you use the head, it does nothing. Only at specific locations where it is called upon for you to use the head can you use that head. So all of these heads are essentially nothing but
keys for certain little doors.
Keys for doors.
Events.
For bonus stages.
Bonus stages.
You think it would have been better if there was less heads, like 10 heads, and when you wore a head, it changed everything about you?
That's
a
what I'm
I
saying.
think
different
that'd be
gameplay
awesome.
design, though. That was like talking about different games now if they decide to go that way. With
I know my description's a little loopy, but Greg, you're absolutely right. Like I think if there was maybe 25, it's a full title game, should be 25 heads, 20 heads. Change the dynamic of how you control your character, shoot
Or like
something.
a new ability, like some little thing maybe.
That's such a that's a huge overhaul of it. The game doesn't have any more gameplay variation except for the scissor, the bomb, whatever. You have a few items that interact slightly differently than you jumping on things, but you don't do it like it's a platformer that you don't do any platforming on. Like you jump, the jumping was really weak. I noticed that right away, not tight.
Yeah.
And like Josh said, I think aside from how visually pleasing it is, this game belonged where I thought it was, which is on the PlayStation Network. I think, gameplay-wise, I've gotten better gameplay out of plenty of other games that cost half the price.
Yeah, absolutely.
Limbo.
You name it. You can name them all. Limbo, Bastion.
Bastion, yeah.
I downloaded Cave Story for free, and that's an awesome side scroller. Cave Story.
You can get Fez right now in the
Cave
Humble
Story is
Bundle
free,
for 1 cent.
What is it?
Fez.
And like even like you don't have, like even not comparing against like top tier games, it's still very mediocre in how it plays. And talking like what you said, Greg, about having the heads change the gameplay would have been really smart. Just because, like I said, the gameplay gets really boring more than halfway through.
I do appreciate so with the right stick on the DualShock controller. With the right stick, you control, kind of like in Dragon's Crown, you control like a secondary character who can interact with objects in the environment. And the little objects you can interact with, there is usually a visual payoff that is pretty neat.
Mm-hmm. It's like Rayman, though, too, also. Like the little guy from Rayman, right?
Yeah, but it's less...
interactive.
It's less interactive. It's less important to the game.
The only thing you can really do with it is like find like extra little crystals.
That's what I was going to say. You have this whole secondary character and they dedicate a whole function to it, and it's to collect coins. Like that's it.
And just watch the aesthetics thing happen, which is the best part.
You see, the coolest thing about the game is watching it animate. They had great animators, but nobody who knows anything about video games, I think, got behind that. Just like, not a lot going on in this game. Not a lot of game in this game.
Right.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So that's Puppeteer, huh?
Yeah, switching gears, I guess, a little bit. Puppeteer is kind of like a happy game. Dan, you got a chance to play some Amnesia, Machine for Pigs.
I did. And
I know you didn't play too much of it, and neither did I. I played a little bit of it, but what do you gather? Did you play the first Amnesia?
Yeah, I played a lot of the first Amnesia.
Right.
I didn't beat it, but I watched the ending on YouTube. Like, I got far enough where I was like, I get this game. I got it. I understand.
Well, I know even with Outlast and games like Amnesia and these scary games, there's like, you get fatigued playing games like that.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing about them is I feel that just playing like a half hour to an hour of them, it just like your nerves get so frayed that you're like, I can't physically do this anymore.
Josh, I want to talk a little more about Outlast, but let's let Dan do Amnesia quick.
Yeah,
Sure.
well, I didn't get very far. I got to a frustrating point where nothing happened. I was creeping around the house, being called for daddy, which was a little bit of a cheap way to start the game.
Children is an easy way to get scary things to happen.
I thought so. I just seemed like, I was like, wow, this is a trope I've bumped into 10,000 times.
Right.
But I was really stoked to not have to deal with tinder boxes. That was great.
Right.
Oh, that is nice.
And the game looks really good. It's like, it feels like it's an upgrade graphically and stuff. It's like, it functions well. And I didn't see I didn't bump into the main demon of the game. I'm like, I have no idea where the real hits are coming from. I was struggling to find where to go for like 40 minutes in the beginning, I felt like, for some reason.
I noticed that too. And not that I want my handheld in these type of games at all, but there was a point, I was streaming it on Twitch, there was a point where I just didn't know where to go.
Yeah.
And I've interacted with every object, and it turns out it was just like a door I missed. And for them to not give you any direction, sure, fine. But it's not like I'm missing out on it because like I'm missing a major part of the gameplay that I have to go through. It's like I just didn't open one door because there's 50 doors to open.
And the doors all looked exactly the same.
Right. So, and then, this is the one door I have to go through. Like, there's no visual cues, nothing you have to follow, like, nothing. Like,
the first Amnesia was really great. It lulled you into the world very well. Like, it started with that whole kind of pink blood you had you had to follow. They got you used to the mechanics and, like, scary shit's good. This one was a little weaker in the start of, like, getting you rolling into this world. It's like you just dropped in your mansion. You don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, like you wake up. I don't know the whole experience so far.
Cage beds everywhere.
Like you're in a room. You start in a room in like a room in a house.
Yeah,
and you walk and you start getting visions. And, and then like immediately 10 minutes in, you're already revealed that like these people have been watching people in the house. You know, like have you gotten that? Like you go through the doors. Yeah. I don't know, man. So far, I'm not happy with that game. I'm pretty disappointed.
Did you guys play Dear Esther?
Greg didn't you?
I only played it for about an hour and a half.
Yeah, this is the Chinese Room who made Dear Esther made this game, and so it's not the same team. And so I was just wondering if those differences are interesting to hear.
I played Dear Esther right after playing Kentucky Route Zero because I was looking for something to sort of take over that.
Greg's got to put $1 in the Kentucky Route Zero jar.
It's just fuck you guys. Anyway, I started, but my computer couldn't really handle it graphically because it's a beautiful game and I didn't want to like lower all the settings. To
I know
play
all about Dear Esther. That was like I got a really impressive trailer for that.
Yeah,
I got goosebumps watching that trailer. It
reminded me of playing Myst almost, like the way the island is when you land on it.
Fully rendered 3D Myst.
It was also like a game I feel like that requires a lot of your time and attention, and I didn't for some reason I just didn't want to. I wasn't ready for it, so I didn't get too far into it.
It's a little hard to switch off the instant gratification headshot zombie massacring,
and then
game
slow
mindset.
down. Right.
Yeah, and just like let's pull the brakes real quick and watch a 50-hour novella love story.
Yeah.
Right. So Amnesia, I think I like the direction they're going artistically. So A Machine for Pigs, it seems as it's going to be a slaughterhouse. Right?
Yeah. Because the guy who runs the place just another crazy guy who is justified, turning his mansion into Saw Land.
I think being that Amnesia, what was the name of the first one?
The Dark Descent.
Dark Descent. I think it's been enough time since the Dark Descent that horror has become a lot more prevalent in games.
They kind of were they blew it wide open. It was them, really.
Right. Not so much survival horror like when we were kids, like, the initial survival horror trope.
Resident Evil or whatever.
But like this more sensory horror type game.
Environmental production, the really good tension being built out of your environment.
Exactly. It's with things like Slender and obviously Outlast, just to name the recent ones, right? So I think they almost fell behind in a way.
Yeah, I guess they did. They threw away some of their old mechanics, like the oil in the canteen. They're just like, screw this. People clearly didn't like it, so you have a magic lantern now that never goes out. And they seem like they're trying to go a little more arcadey and gearing it up, but they have fallen behind. I don't think they have enough tricks in their bag anymore.
I also think that they're in a case where it's like, I'm going to go to the big picture here, but like 343 Studios picking up Halo after Bungie left it. It's like what is it? The Chinese room? What is it? Chinese room, right?
Yeah, the Chinese room.
It's like them picking up their game, and they still want to stick to all the things everybody liked, but they also want to add their own elements in it. It kind of makes for a hodgepodge of misdirection, I think. But I haven't played through the whole game, neither has Dan. I don't know if I even will.
I can't quite weigh in totally. just yet. The next podcast, I'll definitely have my full opinion on it. Even though we were saying a podcast to go,
right.
The way it goes. I watched boxing last night instead of doing this.
I played more of Outlast because I went to live stream. If anybody tuned into my live stream of Amnesia, it kept crashing. So I switched over to Outlast, and damn, that game is good, man. It is just...
Did you get a little further?
Yeah, well, a lot further, actually. I played for like another 2 hours, maybe.
Just to back it up, did Amnesia feel... You were crashing. Didn't it feel kind of... Like the build wasn't as clean as the old Amnesia?
No.
It didn't feel solid.
Not at all.
It was really kind of janky around the edges.
I don't know if maybe it's just because it's, they stepped up their game graphically. I just think it wasn't.
Something felt loose.
Felt a little jagged. The game.
Jagged. That's what I definitely would just running smoothly enough. Right. Anyways, back to Outlast.
So I got further into Outlast. Have you played any more of it, Josh?
No, my plan now is me and Tyler are going to get through it together over Halloween. That's my goal.
You're going to sit together and play?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
That's really lame, man.
You're denying
hold hands while you do it too.
Yeah, but if you want to just get through it, fine. But oh man, there are so many moments. I mean, even live streaming it probably takes a little bit away from it. But there are moments that I'm getting into in this game where, all right, not too much of a spoiler, but you get up to a point where you go into the courtyard outside and you turn on your night vision, and the particle effects on the rain. And there's also another part where you put the sprinklers on inside and you put out a fire. God damn, that's a great looking game. Like for what it is just a very pretty game.
The night vision looks
for how small
great.
That team is.
Yeah, the motion blur when you're moving around and your camera work, it's just that everyone should play Outlast if you're not too squeamish or a little baby like Josh.
Yeah, no, I will fully live up to that. But and so that's why I feel like, and trust me, guys, it's not like if I'm playing with someone, I'm not still gonna jump and scream and things like that. If anything, I might do it more just because I will have someone else to like ride their tension.
Right.
But I feel like that's the best way to get through that for me.
Yeah, so just make sure you hold hands when he takes the keyboard, when he takes the mouse.
Does this make you feel like a man? Does this make you feel big?
Well, I'm just happy you're going to have medical assistance in case you pass out or have a heart attack or something. Someone will help you.
At least he's concerned about my well-being. John's over here ribbing me.
He'll be there to fan you. Wake up, Josh. Oh, you
took such a scare.
But definitely play Outlast, man. Oh God, I'm like, I want to keep playing, but at this point, it's at a moment of such high tension that.
How long is the game? It seems like it's got a good chunk of gameplay.
I've probably put like 4+ hours into it at this point.
Is it $20 title?
$20.
Yeah, I hear 7. I hear 7 is what the gameplay total is.
It's just getting better. It's getting better and better. There's moments where I'm cringing, and I know I talked about this last week, but I'm still doing my muscles are tightening up, and I'm fucking cursing at the guys on the screen. It's just great. It's just there's a few problems where there's the bad guys are chasing you around and they kind of corner you a little bit, but there's ways around it.
Yeah.
Did you? The last time I was over, we were doing the quick play. You were stuck in that area with the dude. He had the butcher's schlock on. He just cut your fingers off and he's chasing you around with the butcher's knife or some shit.
I figured it out. It was really simple. I was just being dumb and panicky.
Yeah,
really.
Right.
So
it was hard to get your head out of it.
Right. But yeah. Greg, you and I played some more Saints Row. Finally got to that. We've been taking our time with it. We've been scheduling appointments.
That's kind of what's okay with that game though, because it's it's another one of those games that you're not really invested in the story. It's kind of like you have free time. Let's get through it a little bit. I'm
worried we're running into Grand Theft Auto time with it though. We're gonna forget about it.
Hopefully, what happens is Grand Theft Auto is going to be a whole nother level. From what I've heard from you, it's going to be a whole nother world for us. And then when we need to escape that world, we'll go into the more superhero-esque world.
So I played Grand Theft Auto this weekend, and I still want to talk Saints Row for a minute, but it feels, at first, jumping into an open world game in a city, I almost wanted to jump in the sky and fly around like Saints Row. I felt that. I was just like, shit, I gotta
walk.
I gotta get in a car and drive, and then there's cops that I can't just kick into the sky 5,000 yards. I can't do that. But we'll get to that in a sec. But Greg and I progressed more through the story, and I think that game's getting a little bit better. I don't know if I speak for Greg.
I was so psyched when we did the Streets of Rage.
Oh my God. So everybody knows Johnny Gat if you played Saints Row, and there's a mission where you have to save Johnny Gat, but you go into Johnny Gat's mind, and everyone's like, you're about to go into his mind, and all the saints are like, what do you think his mind's like? And somebody says something. He's like, oh, maybe it's maybe it's a freckle bitches or something else, something from the game. And you go in, and ready, spoiler, start this off. It is a side-scroll Streets of Rage beat 'em up with really poor dialogue with even worse audio.
All the dialogue has been mashed down with a bit masher, so it sounds like it's like being played through like a Super Nintendo. Like it just sounds like so shitty and great, and the music is awesome.
Yeah, it's so
like the music is so true to that style of game.
Well, they bring it down to about Sega CD 32X graphics about that.
Yeah.
But the first thing we noticed is we went in and Gregg still had a horse head with a Rowdy Piper outfit on.
We were trying to figure it out because we're like, there's no way they modeled every possibility of character that comes in here to turn into a 2D character. It's pretty much a filter goes over the screen. We're playing 3D and there's a filter that makes it look like it's 8-bit,
That's clever.
Which
or
is
16-bit, I should say.
But they do it so well that this was my favorite part of the game so far. The dialogue, you have to hear the dialogue for yourself. It's worth playing through that whole game to get to the dialogue of this mission. It's like, Shondi, please save me from this guy. It was really good.
Yeah. It was fun.
And we collected all of the
we finished the collectibles
clusters
and statues.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you. There's a certificate in the mail, I think, for us, going to be there next week.
Check.
A certificate with a check.
Yeah. So I think that's a good segue into your GTA, right?
Well, I think I'm going to save GTA. We have about 2 or 3 more games that we'll get through, and then we'll save GTA for because we're going to talk about that for a while, I assume.
I think I need a fruit snacks break
with
all these games that we're talking about.
Is it time for a beer and snack break? A new segment possibly that we're going to keep going every week?
Yeah, beer and snack.
All right.
What do we call it? We got to think of a clever name. You know what, Josh? Since you can't have a beer and a snack since you're in Chicago, you know what I got to do? I should start mailing him.
Yeah.
Beer of the week. I would worry a little bit about stuff getting moldy in the mail, but I have a feeling that your snacks, your 3D Mario snacks, would be fine.
So what I'll start doing is I'll start you like your mom is sending you college care packages. Like, okay, here's ramen. And here's a Mario fruit snack. And don't tell your father there's a coupon for beer. All right, so this is our new thing. We, a couple podcasts do it, but this is ours. This is our thing. So, can you hear it? You guys like to make noise on this? Go ahead, Gregg. Yeah. This is your time. Wait, hold on. Listen, Gregg's gonna listen. Yeah! Oh, that was a beer.
Was that you chewing? That actually wasn't all that loud.
Okay, it was really a beer opening.
Okay, Gregg, introduce the beer. Go ahead.
Okay, so first up, we're going to be drinking a beverage today brewed by Ryan Durka. We had one of these 2 weeks ago.
No, it was
3 weeks ago, maybe. This is his, I believe there was number 19. This is 19th batch. This is his banana brew.
Banana brew.
I talked about it that week, and we're gonna try this. I'm gonna pour it while
go ahead and pour it.
John explains the snack we'll be enjoying while we drink this.
So this weekend, I had my family come over again. We had some loose ends to tighten up. My mother had to get her hair done close to where I live, so my dad came in. We hooked up the rest of my old school consoles. They also brought me Super Mario because they're so proud of their son that he likes games. He's like, I'm sure he'd like these cute little snacks, huh?
Right, actually.
Yeah, they're actually really good. I've had them, but I'm going to pretend like I didn't for this podcast. But you guys haven't had them yet. They're called Super Mario 3Ds, 3DEES, fruit snacks. Fruit snacks. There's a Nintendo seal on the back. There really is a Nintendo seal on the back.
Yeah, it comes with their approval. That's serious.
Right next to the Wii U's.
Exactly.
Actually, that's what you guys are eating. You guys are eating Wii U's that never went into production. They just... molded them into these fruit snacks.
What's the don't do this symbol on here? Oh, it has no peanuts. It has no peanuts, guys. That's what that is. I couldn't read that. It has no peanuts.
There's no peanuts.
The beer is super foamy, so we might want to just give it a second.
All right, well, I'm going to continue explaining.
It slow. It's just hard to...
I'll continue explaining my fruit snack here. I have a picture of Yoshi on mine. What do you guys have?
Yoshi.
I got the one and only Super Mario.
Oh, congratulations, Gregg.
I won Mario.
Oh.
Not happening.
All right, so we're going to go. Gregg, why don't you go ahead and get that bad boy open?
Okay.
And explain the texture and explain the shape.
Okay, so I'm pulling one out here. Oh, wow. They're big. First thing I'm noticing, I'm pulling them out, they're large. We're talking about twice to 3 times the size of your average fruit snack. There also are high glossy. They're not a matte finish, which most fruit snacks you get a matte finish on them.
Oh, these are glossy finish fruit snacks. I don't like
They're
these.
a little tacky.
These are gourmet. Listen, okay, let me explain why they're glossy.
These look like Haribo. Goddamn.
That's what I thought so. Also,
hang on. They're only 90 calories in a bag, and they're all made from.
That's a lot.
No, not really.
This?
Yeah, it's not a lot.
90 calories. That's considerable.
Isn't there like 290 calories in a can of Coke?
I just ate a Mario. It tastes like Vicks Vapor Rub.
Whoa.
Okay.
So maybe that is a part of a Wii U that made it in there.
I like this one. Tasted great. Okay.
What guy was that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, explain your.
Oh my God, Mario tastes like Vicks Vapor Rub.
Well,
now we know. Dan, go ahead and explain what you got there.
I think it's this is Donkey Kong. He looks like he's pink or red. Maybe it's strawberry. Maybe it's.
Let's find out. Go right ahead.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Take us through.
Okay. Okay.
I like this segment. It's
What's
good.
going on here?
I feel like I'm on The View.
Is it the Vicks? It's a red one, right?
Yeah, it's somewhere between licorice and Vicks Vapor Rub.
That's pretty good.
Do they all taste like Vicks Vapor Rub?
No, I ate one without looking, and it was really good.
I just had a yellow one, delicious.
Yeah, I got a yellow Mario.
Let's slow it down here, guys. Greg,
we got to talk about the texture.
What
and
shape was your
consistently.
yellow fruit snack?
It was. It looks like. What is this?
Hold on, I'll let you look.
It looks like a duck, like a side duck. Obviously, it's not a.
Not a side duck.
Is it Diddy Kong?
Yeah, it's Diddy.
It's Diddy Kong.
Diddy Kong, and this is an orange.
See, I have a Super Mario here as well.
Orange is good.
Okay. That was a Vicks one, I think, that color. It's like licorice meets
the red. The red have like almost like a minty medicine taste.
You're thinking like mentholated.
Well, hold up, I'm pulling it.
Smell.
Back on texture and consistency.
Right.
I was saying Haribo gummy bears.
These are slimier than a Haribo, though.
They look like it's got the finish of a Haribo.
Yeah.
Josh, we're sorry, man. We're doing this in front of you.
So I am very, very jealous. I'm going to go get a beer and fruit snacks from my cupboard, and I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
All right, go.
Talk about a game that I'm not involved in.
We'll just keep talking about these sweet-ass gummy bears.
See, I brought these over because I figured you guys would love all of them, because I didn't really taste Vicks Vapor Rub.
I got it on the red ones.
I had a weird flavor one.
Like a Robitussin.
But 2 out of the 3 have been very good.
Surprise, Greg. This is all. I got the pharmaceutical brand Mario fruit
snacks. Am I getting
snacks.
fucked up from these right now?
If you do enough of the Robitussin, I think those are the Yoshis. You do Robitussin.
Oh, you're going to hallucinate, dude.
Yeah. You got to make sure it's
You're on the tuss.
DM.
The tuss. All right. Well, I thought it was going to be chewier and tougher. It's actually succulent and easy to chew through.
But they're slimy as hell.
Yeah,
That's okay.
You're getting your fingers a little weird, a little sticky.
Getting a little sticky
Whoa,
with these
guys. Whoa. So you don't have problem with other parts of your life with this, right?
This one was banana, man.
Banana?
I'm going to drink some of my banana beer to complement just banana candy.
All right. So do you think that these fruit snack? What is that?
Josh, take it
I'm
easy,
back.
dude. We know. Did you run?
He's getting mad.
Do you think these fruit snacks accurately portray Nintendo by the trademark that they're always known for? Josh, man, what the hell?
Stop the heavy breathing over there.
I'm not breathing.
You're not breathing. Well, you better.
Something in your room is, bro. Watch out. It's big.
Yeah, very Nintendo-y. It was hit and miss.
Wait, what was the question? What about this experience?
How do these fruit snacks accurately portray Nintendo as they're known to the public? Are they advancing the brand? Are they pushing the brand back? How is this helping Nintendo?
It's a perfect reflection of the brand. It's a hit and miss form. Yeah, some good ones and some bad ones in there, and that's it. You know,
it's well branded, and all the characters are very well articulated. So it's a hit. The kids are going to eat it.
It's the main popular characters. It's Mario, Diddy Kong.
All right, guys, that's the hit or miss. Is
that good idea? Hit or
miss?
Is
that a hit?
Wait, we're gonna on a video game review podcast. You want to have hit or miss be the part where we eat food? And
I don't know, dude.
I think it could be.
All right, anybody who's listening right now, if you can come up with a name for our segment where we try something.
Yeah, we'll use it.
We'll use it. It's got to be good, though.
In fact, if it's not good, until we get the right one, we'll just keep using different ones every week that you guys come up with.
It's your favorite segment.
All right.
To be announced.
Real quick, let's move over to this beer real quick. The Durka Banana Beer. Before you drink it, I'd give...
Drink
Dan's
what?
already gone.
Yeah.
If you give it a whiff,
Oh, it smells great.
It smells like bananas.
Smells like Robitussin.
I just stirred my finger in the foam a little bit to get it to bubble down, and
yeah.
even that was foamy. Like my finger was tasted like delicious
Bananas, right? Yeah,
it's really
I'm
good.
gonna give this a little drink now.
I feel like you get a little chocolate out of this too.
Yeah,
He uses chocolate
That's what
too.
it is. The chocolate that makes it.
I didn't even taste it. I smell it. Hang on. Let me taste this bitch. You guys want to give me some tasting music or anything? No?
Wow,
Wow, that's delicious.
Yeah,
That's very good. Not a lot of body to it, but the taste is there. It's pretty
such
good.
a tasty.
You talking
beer.
about the hoppy realm?
No,
It's not very. The
taste doesn't linger. Like you get hit by it, then there's nothing at the end.
Yeah.
which is kind of how I prefer my beer.
Me too. I like that. Also.
I don't like 200-hour IPAs that clog your throat up.
Yeah.
Not into it really.
No.
I like it. I like a tasty beer that you taste it and then you're done. It's not sitting on your tongue for
I also like a beer that's just drinkable. A beer that I can just like slam on a hot day is fine, like Pacifico, something like that. Mexican beers. But this is also a hit. It's hit or miss for right now. Today it's hit or miss. You called it.
So Durka's banana brew is a hit.
Thanks, Durka.
Mario Fruit Snacks.
For me, it's
I'm gonna say it's a hit. I'm gonna out of the two options.
it's hard for me, but I guess I have to say hit
What
because
you have to do though is that's why I said judge on texture, judge on flavor. I know flavor. You probably got a
the
bad
thing
hit.
is, I also got some really great flavors in there. I had one bad flavor. And
There's
then
always a bad flavor in the fruit
You're right,
collection of
you're
fruit
right.
snacks.
Always.
You can't avoid
the
it.
packaging is
Yellow
solid.
Skittle, as it
the
were.
branding is
Yes.
solid. I didn't like the high gloss. I prefer a matte finish on my fruit snacks.
Right.
I definitely do. We're talking Shark Bites being the ultimate of all
man,
time.
That is the ultimate.
It
matte
really
finish fruit
is.
snack.
You get the white one. You're like, oh, I got the white one.
a white Shark Bite!
What? And then, but the opposite.
Miss Azalona, please sit down. I can't! Look at the color of the Shark Bite!
You get the if you get a transparent, not transparent, a white,
slightly opaque
I
one?
don't like the clear gummy bears. I'm not a fan of the
What?
clear. Yeah, I don't
What's
like
One
it?
of my
clear.
favorite
What do you
gummy
mean clear?
bears. The clear Haribo gummy bears are the greatest.
The ones that I mentioned earlier?
Yeah, clear
Oh,
Haribos.
I don't know. Was it? I
They're
thought
like,
about the.
they're like pineapple flavor, the clear
Yeah, I
one.
don't like
Well, do they come in the bag with the other colors though? Is
Yeah,
it
of
like
course,
its
they're
own?
in there.
Okay, you're right, but I also still don't like Haribo.
Oh, I love them.
Almost any. I call it Haribo because it's horrible.
That's bad. You're wrong. I like a nice hard gummy bear. That's how
Interesting.
That's how I
That's
like 'em.
not the way I like it.
Is it hard enough to where like you have to like chomp on it for like a minute or so before
I like
you can-
that. Well, no, they're not that hard, but honestly, I get them. That I put them in the fridge and then I eat them. And
Yeah,
Wow.
well,
It's
you're
a good
really
move.
into the
that hard.
chewing experience.
I guess so.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's almost gum at that point.
I feel like I'm being attacked right now. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
It's definitely a sign of some kind of sexual frustration. Obviously,
If any of you guys listening have any recommendations for beer that we haven't tried, or snacks that we haven't tried,
or drugs. Any good drugs that you've heard
Any
of?
drugs.
What's
Fun.
hot on the market?
That'd be
any
a fun episode.
any
Dude,
money?
shut up! I have a hilarious story that just came to me about drugs.
All right, we're gonna wrap up this segment in just a moment after Dan's story.
Okay, I have a girl I was dating. Her roommate at the time, he is a health freak and he's a vegan and he's in like impeccable shape and his family's rich and he's like 21 and just
Sounds like he has a terrible life.
yeah, just terrible life. But he doesn't like to. He's such a health nut that he doesn't drink. So his trick is to give himself GHB. Do you know, guys? Do you know what that is? GHB?
No.
Roofies.
He roofies himself.
Oh.
He roofies
wow.
himself to party. And like he doesn't want to drink with everybody, but he wants to like be on the inebriated level. He says GHB is like a natural alternative to drinking. It feels just like drinking.
Why does he just smoke weed? Oh, well, I guess he wants.
He
to
doesn't
feel
want to.
drunk.
He doesn't want to smoke. He doesn't smoke anything. He's like a temple. His body.
So
but
roofies
he
is not-
fucking roofies himself.
Yeah, it's roofies. So how does roofies
Fuck your
slide under
kidneys
that
up?
bar?
Like, doesn't that ruin your kidneys?
It's got dude. He's roofing. There's got to be side effects.
What,
Yeah.
what did you say, Josh?
It feels like he made that. He made that decision arbitrarily. Like he was just like, "Oh, roofies are fine."
No, man. He's from waspy rich people. Like that's probably a trick in like Connecticut circles of wealthy white people. Like no. We use pure GHB. Thank you very much.
So you're good friends with this guy now.
We're
You come
BFFs. We
close.
roofie each other day and night.
You pretend to do it to each other, so
Yeah,
it's not self-inflicted.
It's a big goof. We have a big goof, a big laugh about it.
Hey man, try some of this.
Also, one of my favorite moments of the Arrested Development new season was when Job keeps roofing himself, but he forgot that he roofied himself, so he comes to and then buys roofies again and does it all over to try and forget the memory that it was too late.
Yep.
So he can't.
That's funny.
That was clever. Thanks, Arrested Development writers.
All right, so we can easily say. Oh, actually, Josh, what do you have there? What'd you get?
Yeah,
I have Sam Adams Oktoberfest and the Market Pantry mixed fruit flavored snacks.
Oh,
that's not, we'll save the fruit snacks for another one, but I say the Sam Adams is always a hit. It's almost October.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll say...
I had one last night, and I'm going to say hit.
So,
Ditto.
So we'll say this week was a double hit.
It's a triple hit.
It's a triple hitter.
It's a triple hit for Josh.
Wait, or a quadruple, even. There's 4 of us. Let's go crazy.
Yeah, we have 4 hits.
It's almost like we're on a hit streak.
Triple hit?
Triple hit.
What do they call 3 hits in a row? Isn't that like a hat trick of hits?
Hat trick.
Well, there's no hat
that's
trick
goals,
in baseball.
But, no, well, I like it. I like hat trick. Hat trick's good.
You can call it a turkey.
You got a turkey of hits here.
That's bowling, everyone. So, good segue back into games.
Yeah, it was. That was fucking smooth,
Very
dude.
smooth.
Wow.
Turkey, bowling, video, arcades at bowling alleys, video games.
7 degrees of video games.
Josh, you played some Vita, didn't you? You played some Killzone Vita.
Killzone Mercenary.
Yeah, I saw some tweets. You didn't seem so happy with it.
I was not. It's... Sorry. Hang on one second.
Oh, well, you're drinking your Oktoberfest?
I was eating the last fruit snack. I found one hiding fruit snack, and so I had to throw it down
That's
quick.
the best.
Yeah, they're always sneaky.
I know it was pretty happy. But yeah, Mercenaries is good. It's more Killzone. It's definitely the first competent shooter on the Vita. And help me, guys. Can you think of another first-person shooter or another handheld console that did first-person shooters?
Well, the PSP had a couple.
I think Virtual Boy had
Virtual
one or
Boy,
two.
Telero Boxer.
You go ahead and try to use Virtual Boy as a handheld.
You just have to tape it to your head.
Yeah, it's like the Oculus Rift. Come on.
It's the
pretty
same
much.
thing.
Same thing.
You break your neck holding it.
I used to try to do that when I was a kid. I tried to make a system for it so I can sit with it on my head so I didn't have to kneel down and
You
look
I'm
into
sick
it.
of this stupid reality.
You
Just live in the
simultaneously
Virtual Boy.
burn your retina out and give yourself scoliosis at the same time.
That's where it's at.
The most damaging machine ever.
Nintendo.
Where else is there a first-person shooter? Never on Game Gear.
Have you found and
not.
anything that was like console comparable? Like I never played any first person shooters on the PSP. I don't remember them specifically.
I played one. It's about like hacking. I forgot what it's called. It was like one of the first ones. It was about hacking. It was like
Yeah. And so
whatever.
I guess what I'm getting at is it did feel like a bit of a landmark that like to play a basically console quality first person shooter on a handheld feels amazing and almost like weird at first just because you're used to, having this giant TV in front of you. And that's what I associate like those experiences with. So just to have this like shooter where I could just walk around my house and like go over and sit by the TV was really cool. But after that initial like, holy shit, the Vita's an amazing machine that it can actually run something that looks this good. After that wears off, it's really not a great shooter. And it's Killzone. I guess if you're a Killzone fan, you can really get into it. But
That was the first one was on PS2, right?
PS2, and there was a PS3 one that came out.
Yeah, there was. It was a pretty cool PS2 game.
Yeah, I mean, and they're very competent shooters. They very much like scratch an itch, and like the beginning is a little bit cumbersome. It feels like they throw a lot of things at you and don't explain things really well. But once you like kind of get what you're supposed to be doing, where you're supposed to be going, it becomes a lot easier. However, the single player is super short. It's like, I think it's maybe 4 hours.
Wow.
What development team worked, or like publisher we know, but development team worked on this?
Cambridge is, and I couldn't tell you anything else they did, but it's not the actual like Killzone team, Guerrilla Studios.
Right.
But yeah, this like super short single player campaign. I'm sorry, you're gonna say.
I'm very curious. Did they rely on any of the gimmicks for the PlayStation Vita? Did you do any back touching? Did you really?
Any melee stuff is swipe screen, but it's like incredibly forgiving. I never fucked any of that stuff up. It's like it draws the arrow super slow and gives you like, because whenever you go into your melee, it slows down into like bullet time, so you like have time to swipe the screen, which also sucks because like if you're trying to melee someone and there's other people around you, like people just sit there and fucking like pump bullets into you while you sit there and you're like, all right, I swiped the screen, now he's gonna do this stupid animation. I'm just sitting here dying. So yeah, I mean it's good for what it is. I also played a little bit of the multiplayer, and while it's kind of fun, there's some cool modes. It also feels like it disconnects super easily.
Well, anything on the Vita. I mean, I've tried to play Wipeout. I've tried to play a couple of multiplayer games, and seriously, I just don't see the appeal of playing multiplayer games on my handheld console. Call me archaic and old or old-timey, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, because the times you're going to need it on a plane, on a road trip, you're not getting any service to play other people.
Well, exactly.
If you're somewhere that you can play a game like that, you're just going to want to play it on a desktop or TV.
Exactly. And sitting on my couch is the only place I can do it. And you can only do 4 versus 4 for your multiplayer. So it's a total of 8 people in there, which feels old school.
Right. Yeah. It feels like a forced experience. Like it has multiplayer.
Yeah.
4 on 4. Like
just barely.
And
like the fact that it logs you out, and like I have pretty great internet. Like, and I live in Chicago where we have pretty fantastic like cable internet that's supported. I can't imagine trying to play multiplayer if you live like in a super rural suburb
or like Queens and you have Time Warner,
or like New York. If you live in New York City, dude, in the metropolis of metropolises with third-rate, third world internet.
I feel like they have. Over in Time Warner, they have a Morse code line with a converter cable onto it. They turned it into a cable line.
Right.
It's like, fuck you, Josh.
Yeah, it's pretty rough around the edges. And, like I said, if you really love first-person shooters and you own a Vita, I mean, fuck, if you own a Vita, you're just happy a game came out this week. So,
yeah, it's true. How is first-person aiming on that thing? Is it left stick? Or is it right stick?
It's dual stick. And just the same as every other game. Left stick is, to
walk.
Yeah, left stick is walk, and then the other stick looks around. Right stick looks around.
You got accustomed to it pretty quickly. It didn't take too long. Not too awkward.
Yeah, no, it feels super tight. Like, the controls felt good. I jumped in and didn't have any trouble. I was worried it would be a little laggy or just feel awkward. But like I said, aside from the fact that I was having this experience on the small handheld, it felt really good.
I think the awkwardness for me, for even going through Golden Compass or whatever, Uncharted, any shooter, the shoulder buttons are really awkward to shoot with for me. I can't get used to that. I mean, I can get used to it to get through the game. But nothing is like triggers. Triggers, it just doesn't feel right not holding a controller playing a first-person shooter or, a mouse and keyboard.
You don't even... Well, what about consoles? Xbox 360 first-person shooters.
Triggers.
Oh, you said... those triggers. Yeah.
I mean, shoulder...
So, John, do you not like using the DualShock 3 for...
Nobody likes
it.
No,
it's so much.
Everybody hates it. It feels so flimsy, and the controller's like a quarter of the weight of the last one. What the hell happened?
Yeah, I don't know. They weren't thinking.
The triggers are buggy, and then the bumpers also are just really frustrating to try to use those in a first-person shooter.
Yeah, I was really disappointed.
I still feel like even though the DualShock 4 feels better, I don't think there's going to be enough changes there to really make that feel like the go-to for first-person shooters.
Well, when we're talking about DualShock controllers, I think that they need to offset their thumbsticks.
They're not going to do it.
I mean, I don't want to get... Well, they didn't, but I'm just saying...
They should just give you an option. They should make a first-person controller, that...
Right.
Or a third party should make one that feels like an Xbox controller.
They have converters.
Well, at least gives you those curves. Like, the curves would be nice as opposed to like that concave shape that they have.
Well, we'll see. The only game I'm getting so far with my PlayStation launch is Killzone.
Metal Gear Solid 5.
That's coming in for Xbox too.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so
is this the first?
No.
What do you mean?
Subsistence came out for Xbox also.
I know Twin Snakes came out for GameCube and shit, but I didn't think Sony was going to release headlining titles.
They don't own. I mean, they had contracts.
Even Kojima. Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts is coming to PS4 and Xbox One.
I mean,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Microsoft is getting some Final Fantasy action.
Right.
Big deal at this point. That game.
Exactly.
I don't want to get too much into launch stuff, but right now, and people are going to accuse me that hate on me of being a Microsoft dude, but...
You're a Microsoft dude.
I am, but I mean, I try to be fair and balanced. There's nothing on PlayStation right now, no IP, that is driving me to be...
I sold my PS3 years ago. I was like, there's nothing going on here. Where's the IP?
I mean, at least for the PS4 launch. I mean, it has enough... I have plenty of PS3 games. But right now, Killzone is the only thing I want. I don't really care much for Knack or whatever it is.
Having played Knack, it was pretty lackluster. And same thing with Killzone, Shadowfall.
And then,
but to that matter, I look at that. I think neither launch lineup is good at all. Like I think both are fucking rough.
Yeah, that used to not be the case. Like launch lineups used to be a pretty impressive thing. How like Ridge Racer looked so cool on PS1 and Mario 64.
Last generation was poor as well, but before
it seems to be the way now. Like developers, it's so powerful the next level that like developers are like, dude, what can we possibly do?
It takes like 2 years for them to get their legs.
It does.
Exactly. And you just imagine getting this like piece of technology shoved in your hands, like, well, figure out how it works, dude. No one's done this before, so
Sony's
enjoy.
machines always take notoriously long to unlock. It seems like the Microsoft.
Well, they moved away from the proprietary technology that really fucked up the PS3 to like make it a little bit more like a PC. I mean, for that matter, they both did. But
is that the consensus about the PS3? Is that it was a bit fucked?
Well, in the
I mean, like they lost
like
the stuff that Sony built for it. They built that stuff. It didn't exist.
Sony is still in the red with their entire gaming division. Isn't that correct? I think they don't.
I think the gaming division's fine.
Sony makes all their money from selling insurance, life insurance. Is that a known fact? That's how Sony makes. Sony's gaming division is a shadow of the big old life insurance policy. Like they don't need that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently they play it fast and loose a little bit.
Well, all I know on launch is I'm only getting Killzone, and.
So you're not getting Killzone Vita though.
No. Well, Josh
you're
sold
not
it
that
so
loyal.
well.
Yeah, sounds like such a great time. That's a little bit how I felt. I mean, Spec Ops was discernibly better than that, but just like, they were throwing like sophomoric ethical quandaries at you about war, like shit that you're supposed to consider a while ago if you're an empathetic human being.
How far did you get into that game, Dan?
You got to finish it.
I only really met the guy who's Conrad.
Okay,
I remember names.
I played like
that
3 hours
that game is
of it.
based off of. Sorry,
it's okay.
I'm very excited about life in general, so sometimes
I gave Dan a look because he cut you off again.
I played like 3 hours of it, and like basically in the 3 hours I played, I was like, this feels like every other fucking military shooter I played, and I have heard very strongly that you have to play the whole thing. But I just never felt compelled to do that. Like it's just never grabbed me.
The gameplay did not exactly like push me. Like I liked the things that were being brought up and the overall arc of what they were styling the game, the tone. But the gameplay was like, it just feels it's bad Gears of War. What's going on here?
It's a shooter. Yeah. Like that game is it's the most shooteriest shooter you can have. But it's obviously it's about the message.
The message is just a lamer take on Heart of Darkness. Joseph, or what is his name? Is it Joseph Conrad? The author's name of Heart of Darkness is whatever Conrad. It's Conrad. So the whole game is let's make a game about Heart of Darkness. It's Apocalypse Now for a video game.
Absolutely, but the real thing, story-wise, you're 100% right. But what happens is when they start breaking the fourth wall a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. You said they do some very creative things in that way. And that's fun to make you as a gamer or player
that's the whole
question
point.
Yourself.
So that's the whole thing is when you're not playing the game, they want you to be thinking about the game, and that is the game. Like the idea of Spec Ops The Line is they're giving you this very bland shooter. Graphically, it's very pretty, whatever. They're giving you the Heart of Darkness story.
Little bloomy.
Yeah.
Too goddamn bloomy.
Well, they take advantage of that.
Xbox.
The bloom hides faults in the level design and shit, but the real game is played in your head, because what happens is you're forced to play the game, right? You spent the $60 or whatever to play the game, and you're trudging forward, and the game is like, you don't have to keep killing these people, but you're like, but I paid the money, like, am I just not going to play the game? And the game is like, I don't know, are you?
Which is this? It's a bit of a silly disposition, though. It's like, dude,
totally,
I will kill anybody. I will slaughter a room of babies and laugh. It's a video game.
It's an achievement to slaughter all the babies.
Yeah, you did it. Well done. It's Saints Row. I mean, after Modern Warfare 2 with the airport shootout, with your terrorists just mowing down people in the machine gun. No rush. After No Russian, it's like nothing's going to shock me in a war game anymore.
But just to invoke that idea.
Yes.
That's the point of that game.
Yeah, I mean, I respect that. They had some, using Heart of Darkness as your source material for a video game is pretty badass. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's worse places to draw from.
Definitely finish that game though. I
will definitely finish it. I don't hate it.
And after you finish it, spend 15 minutes reading about it a little bit.
about its ethos, its era, what it's done.
Definitely do. It definitely made the game, the experience a little more.
Noted.
A little more enjoyable for me. I played. Sorry, Josh, what were we talking about again?
Yeah, that's Killzone Beta. We have literally, and it's sad to say this, but we have covered Killzone Beta about as much as we have to now.
Yeah.
We've done our due diligence here.
Indeed.
Good. Today, I went to the mall with Kate. We had a nice little day today. We walked through the mall.
Aww.
And I know it's Sunday, but a little game came out today. A release game. I know that because it came directly to me via Nintendo's website, because they said the Wonderful 101 will be released September 15th, which is a Sunday.
That's racist.
How's that racist?
Well,
who's making fun of the Chinese girl lady selling DVDs?
I didn't do the voice. You guys did the voice.
I didn't do a voice.
You both did the voice.
I'm
I
deflecting
did a
that to you.
voice. I'll admit to that.
He did a voice.
I'm a stupid Chinese person.
Greg, bleep all that out, please. Thank you.
I'm not racist. That just was funny. Come on. Don't be so sensitive.
All right.
Taking the edge. We're taking the edge off the show.
This is very edgy.
Dan sounds like Larry David. Come on. Larry David over here. So anyway, I went into GameStop because Amazon wouldn't have delivered it till after Grand Theft Auto, so that would have been a problem. But I picked up the Wonderful 101. And I went into GameStop and I said, hi, do you have any copies of the Wonderful 101? Fully expecting them to be like, did you pre-order? Did you pre-order?
Comic book guy.
Yeah. Ha, 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 ha. His shoulders going up and down. I said, no, I did not pre-order. Why? Was there a lot of pre-orders? No. There were 0 pre-orders for the Wonderful 101.
Jesus.
Yeah, this game did not. It seemed poorly marketed because this is a flagship Wii U thing right now.
I don't even know what
it's a
it
big
was.
deal.
I don't even know what it was.
So
It's also Platinum Games. Like, they're pretty big. You know, they did Bayonetta.
let me finish. So I said, okay, do you have any copies available for those who did not pre-order? They got 1 in their shipment.
Shut the fuck up. Are
They
you
only had
serious?
2 Puppeteer when I went.
Really?
They only ordered 2.
But this game was supposed to be like a Wii U bomb. Like, get the Wii U because the Wonderful 101 is going to be the sickest. First of all, it came out on a Sunday. Everyone's watching football in America. Nobody cares. Who's driving their kid to go pick up this game? Nobody.
Yeah, it's like, Dad, take me to go get the Wonderful 101. Shut up and like the Jets, god damn it.
Be a man.
Damn it. Drink this shitty beer.
That's what I'm talking about. You're 6. Come on.
1 copy. And I picked it up and I got it. And I felt really cool. So yeah, that was confusing to me. I was like, wow, this is supposed to be like a flagship title.
Is it still confusing to you after you played the game?
Oh God.
More confusing, probably. I played the demo and it was like a mind eraser tool. It just fucking fried my brain.
So I played the demo as well, and I figured when I loaded up the game that it would give me an introduction, and it did, but barely. Like, barely gives you an introduction to this thing. Immediately you're playing and things are going 100 miles an hour, and all these giant text things come on the screen like, press this button, do this, we'll give you this super jump. But they chalk up 4 for Dan. I think that was Japanese.
That's how this game is. You don't. It's like a really well-meaning, like Japanese lady on the other side, like, this is what you do now. And you're like, what? You're not. That wasn't English. I don't understand. Yes, you do very good.
You want DVD?
You want DVD?
Very good. That was very good.
Okay.
This game very good.
Okay, we become.
I'm sorry to the Asian community.
We'll write you an apology for the next podcast. There's an apology coming to all Asian, listeners of any ethnicity. We'll
write it in those stupid shapes, you know?
Yeah, those silly characters you got. What is that squiggly line nonsense? What happened to A, B, C, D, O?
Oh, okay. So
what is that? A house with a fish on it? I got no idea.
So
we got a new segment now. Dan's racist moments.
Dan's racist corner.
Oh man. So
Game.
Wonderful 101.
Indeed.
Like I said, it's supposed to be this big bombshell thing for Nintendo. I started playing it, and there's no tutorial really. There's more of an easy introduction to the gameplay parts. But I'm about 2.5 hours into the game I played today, and I'm still confused by at least 70% of the systems in that game.
Yeah. So in depth. Do you have more shapes you can?
Well, I just unlocked the gun shape. So what you do is you have the Wii gamepad, or you could use the right stick, and you have control of all of these guys. I'll get to the story in a second, which is like super basic, but based on the shape that you make on the Wii U gamepad and tap A, all of your guys that are together will create the weapon that you're going to be using in your team synergy attack. I forgot what it's. Forgive me, I don't know all the technical names for this stuff. I don't remember any of it. I barely retained it in like the ridiculous dialogue that they have written.
Yeah, it's like trying to learn a new language. What's going on in this?
So you do a circle and press A for a hand. You do a line and press A for a sword, and you do like kind of like a carrot, not a carrot. You know, like a carrot in English, like in English text.
Yeah,
like an up arrow.
Shift 6.
Yeah, that'll help clear it up. Shift 6.
Everybody, okay, just look at your keyboard. You know you're at one right now.
Shift 6.
That's a carrot. You just learned something.
And
educational podcast.
And then you get a gun, and you can shoot. Okay, so anyway, the Wonderful 100 is this group, this organization for the Sentinel. I wrote it down here so I wouldn't forget. The Sentinels is this group of world, secretly by the UN. There's this coalition called the Sentinels, right? Totally crazy.
Wait your heart up, Metal Gear.
Exactly. Who protect the Earth, et cetera, et cetera. And they get invaded. Earth gets invaded by the Geth Jerk. I'm not kidding. That's the name of the aliens.
The Geth Jerk?
The Geth Jerk.
And they name themselves that. We are the Geth Jerks.
The Geth.
It sounds like someone was
Take me
playing
to
Mass
your
Effect
milk.
and just being like, these Geth jerks. Like, hey, we're taking that. We're using that.
So in the dialogue, they use the word noob. They use like a lot of
cringeworthy.
I think somebody in Japan probably watched a lot of American, like Big Bang Theory. And
Right, they were like, we need to learn about American comedy. Let's watch The Big Bang Theory.
So, I'm going to title this podcast like fucking something.
Hero from the AwayCast.
Hero.
It's not even a single person that's alive. It's a character, cartoon character.
Yeah. So
also, I support the hero.
Okay. So
as I formulated the thought,
I'm going to continue with the Wonderful 101 now. So the gameplay is you basically have all your dudes together, which is the 100, and Wonderful 101, they call it that because you are the one. You are the one controlling everyone. So real clever. You're controlling hundreds of dudes. You have a team attack, which is a basic attack, and then you have your unite attack. That's what it's called, which is the attacks I mentioned earlier. Then you have your jump button. Everything is very, very fast. Super fast. You're running around 100 miles an hour, but they also expect you to do stuff on the Wii U gamepad, which I later realized that you're not supposed to look at the gamepad while you're doing it, because every time I was going to do like a skill or something, I would look down at the pad and I would draw it and then look back up at the screen, and by then I was already like half health getting hit by dudes. So I started to get quick with it. The game has like a 3-level learning curve. It really does. Like you have, and I'm even, like I said before, I'm probably only like 30% familiar with the game at this point. It doesn't, to make it short, it doesn't feel like it's living up to the legend that Nintendo wanted it to be. I think they're going to try to milk, there's Wonderful Red is the main character, and then there's Wonderful Blue and Wonderful Green, and they really got creative with the names there.
Yes, indeed.
But those are their code names. Oh man, it's so hard to explain the Wonderful 101 without sounding. I think I might have to use one of Dan's racist voices to make it make any sense.
That's why I went to it, man. It's the only way this game. It's this game's racist on itself. It doesn't even know it.
We're gonna do another way around it sometime this week, and I'll explain some more of it there. But I think it's definitely playworthy. I don't know if it's a.
Did you say prayworthy?
Super playworthy.
Playworthy.
It's a Nintendo game, man. It's whatever. It's insane a little bit, but it's polished and the frame rate is perfect and it's totally well designed.
And it's very colorful, very shiny.
Yeah.
It sounds like it has a bit of that frantic action that like Bayonetta has, where things are just, you're responding very quickly to things as they're happening.
You're 100% right, but it also introduces elements from games that don't have that type of gameplay, so it doesn't work. Like you pick up items like fruit and eggplant and shit, like all the weird Nintendo stuff, like in Pikmin and all the games where you pick up fruit still, because we've been doing this shit for 30 years. Nintendo.
Gotta get fruit.
Well,
Vegas started it with the slot machines, I think. And I want to win fruit.
Pac-Man, you just fruit. It's always fruit.
It's fruit.
So Nintendo is still sticking onto the fruit, and you can take the fruit and mix it together and make items.
Fruit salad.
Mixed
fruit cups,
soup, cake, like the typical.
I mean, you could take fruits and turn them into cake.
I haven't made it.
Cakes have
so
fruit
anyway,
sometimes.
I gotta show you the UI because the UI is super offensive and just like I mentioned it when I played the demo.
Aggressive or something?
No, it's just like super fish or pricey. It's very, it's very like. It's hard to explain.
Oh, the way you were saying is that the game dumbed itself down so much that if like you're a normal gamer, this game it's like automated to a point of fault.
Well, not automated in a sense that it simplifies it for you. It's using super simple UI to display stuff that can be displayed in like lists. When I say super simple, I don't mean super simple. I don't mean super simple aesthetically. I do, but I mean super simple, like with the aesthetic of a child. Like I mean, like I'm playing with something from Fisher Price.
Well, this is Nintendo's thing: is they want your games to be accessible to 1-year-olds and 31 and 51-year-olds. They're trying to they're more for kids, I know, but they want it to be for everybody.
Right, but I'm having an issue with the systems that they're trying to implement using the UI that they're using. Right. Like this crafting system, it's like you'll see what I mean when I show it to you. You got to see it because you collect like 10 eggplants, right? And you have to when you have the eggplant, in order to mix it in, you have to fill up a meter, and there's just all these unnecessary fillers in terms of how the systems work because they want it to look super padded, Mm-hmm. I may not make sense, but if you take a look at what we post later this week or anything like that, take a look at it and you'll get what I'm saying. So they have that crafting system, and then you pick up these items that you can buy in a shop, and it's the same thing where you go to buy stuff in the shop and they don't display it well. You can level up your characters, even though you have 100 of them. You can switch between all 100 different characters to be your main guy.
That seems like a lot.
Right, but it seems like a lot, but I don't get it yet. So there's always one guy with the gun, one guy with the sword, and one guy with the hand, and you can choose one of the people in your 100 or whatever in your party to be the main leader that controls that shit, right? Follow me here. I know this is getting fucking silly.
I got you. I'm with you.
So there's like weird characters like Toilet Man and Music Man and fucking like Painter Guy and like all these random things because you can rescue them. Well, not rescue, but when you find them, you draw a circle around them and you gain them into your party for that level. Same thing with civilians and stuff. Anyway, so you get these characters and you can level them up, I think, right? So there's like a little meter next to them on the Wii U gamepad and you can level them up. And when they level up, it says like, new skill unlocked for the sword, and it says nothing else. Like it doesn't say press this or it does it automatically or it's a passive skill.
You
or
get that, Nintendo does that kind of thing.
It's just there's so much shit in your face that you're like, settle down for a second. Tell me how to use the shit.
Yeah,
that is just my experience with it so far. It's like settle down, and I don't think it's because I've played everything under the fucking sun. There's no way that I'm missing something here. There's a clear difference between tutorializing and kind of like, oh man, just making it fucking...
Yeah, this game sounds like it's everything but the kitchen sink. It's got everything inside of it packed so tight. I can't imagine how they pitched this game and the development process behind it, but it's just like an endless well of strange content.
It's almost like it's almost like Puppeteer, where in theory, it's like, oh man, this is so cool. The aesthetic is cool. It's an isometric view of all these guys kind of tilt shifted a little to make it seem like there's some depth, like the camera trick.
Yeah.
And it's really neat. It's missing a lot of the bread and butter that would make it a good game, and it's completely convoluted. Next week, maybe I'll have a better idea of it, but I mean,
your current confusion, I think, is pretty representative of the gameplay of what that's what you're gonna feel this way for a little bit, at least. There
was several times playing the game where I almost wanted to stop and look and see online if anyone had any advice for me, like how do you get into the Wonderful 101? Like, what are the systems? How do they work? And they're just presented to you. They're never really gone over in detail. I don't know. That's all I really have to say about it. It's very shiny. It seems like they took a cue from some Western action sequences because the cutscenes are pretty neat. A lot of explosions, a lot of really big stuff. I just fought a boss in a baseball stadium, which was really neat. the way they had it set up, and there's all sorts of block mechanics, blah 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 blah. You have to get your hands on it for yourself to really know what I'm talking about. I probably sound like a crazy babbling guy.
Nintendo kind of does that too. That's kind of their MO, their style. They give you a game that's on the surface it seems all arcadey and simple, but there's actually a shitload of nuance.
Exactly.
Like, even Mario Kart. I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart again lately on the Wii. That game has like a lot of depth to it that you don't realize until like. Right. If you want to be good and like compete on the internet or something, there's a lot of shit you got to figure out. So like, there's no tutorial in Mario Kart. They don't even tell you that you're supposed to drift, but like it's the most important part of the game.
Right.
And it's been that way all the way down. But now we're at Wii U territory with an LCD screen that you can do anything on your touchscreen. And it's like a whole new eclectic array of things you can do to interact with this game. It's like it's hard to wrap your mind around.
I have 5 menus on my touchscreen, right?
Right.
Where I can choose my character, I can mix stuff together, I can do a whole bunch of different things. And then I go into my main menu and there's other stuff there. They don't ease you into it.
And for a game of at that speed?
And that's the thing. That's where the problem is. The problem isn't that like they don't ease you into it, because I've dealt with games that are just like you learn based on exploration and like you learn based on just learning through experience. This game is just like, it's so fast that they need to show you what to do. Like they need to tutorialize it a little bit. It's like being thrown into, I don't know. I can't even think of an example, honestly. But I think I enjoy it.
Right. I vaguely felt like I was having fun when I played the demo.
I was watching you play on Twitch, and I was having a really hard time finding looking like it was fun. I don't know. For
the 2.5 hours that I played, I was more trying to learn. So when I was done, my head was kind of cloudy. I'm like, I think this was fun. And after each segment, you get a grade, like bronze, gold, silver, platinum. And I was doing, like, even in the first level, you figure, like, oh, I play a lot of games. I'll just get platinum on all the first level. I was getting, like, bronze on all the levels. And that's...
Oh, yeah.
And then there's... And to start the game, there's 3 difficulty levels. Very easy, and normal.
And you were playing normal?
Normal. Because that's... And I feel like it should say, like, easy, normal, hard.
Right.
Right? So...
That's strange.
I don't know. It was weird. We'll post more stuff later this week, but that's how I feel about it today so far. Josh, you still there, pal?
I'm here. I'm just taking in what you're talking about.
Taking it all in. Well, I'm the only one with a Wii U around these parts, so you gotta take my word for all that shit.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen some gameplay of that game, but based on what you said, like I'm kind of with Gregg. It doesn't sound like it's that much fun.
It might get fun, but it's almost like taking an 2-hour course on learning something. It's like I feel like I'm in flight school.
It's just such a strange thing that happened. Is what Nintendo put so much stock into this, and they seem like they really wanted this to be a hit. Yet Gregg, who likes games, never heard of it, and it's like I never heard of it until you brought it up. And like, why is this so under the radar? They're having a really hard time making people recognize this game. I feel like Nintendo does this once in a while.
Yeah,
they get some get behind, and they're trying to make some new IP, and it's like I'm
gonna put money on it right now. Mark my words. They're gonna put Wonderful Red in Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
he's got to be in Smash Brothers.
Because he's a charming new character. He's like very like it reminds me like the Incredibles a little bit. You know, they're gonna put him in Smash.
Of that.
Yeah, definitely.
It was like Incredibles meets a Beautiful Joe.
Beautiful Joe is definitely their suits look like that. Greg, what are you doing over there?
I made a puppet.
Looks like a Mega Buster, the X-Man Mega Man.
Greg made a puppet out of the couch cushion over there.
Wow, I'm the new Gregg.
Hey, new Greg.
Greg the pillow.
You can't share the same name as Greg. New Greg, you're jealous. You like that name so much?
It's the best name ever.
What's the matter with you, new Greg?
Well, I've had a bad day today.
Why'd you have a bad day, new Greg?
Well, I'm a pillow, so,
Greg, you got to work on your punchline for new Greg.
Well, I'm just a pillow, so.
All right, go away.
Alright.
I'm not funny, and then nobody likes me. Everyone tells me to go away whenever I come out.
So let me ask you guys a question. Did you guys start playing Grand Theft Auto with Grand Theft Auto 1?
Yes.
I did actually.
Top. I played at your house, I think.
I know.
I played at the youth center where I used to live growing up.
You lived in a youth center?
No, my town where I lived.
The way you phrase
Yeah, you're right. That did sound.
You sound like you were a little brother at the YMCA.
I played that in one of the foster homes. It's so hard to remember between all the beatings. Oh, I'm sorry, foster children. That was a bad thing to say.
This is an offensive episode.
Yeah, it really is. I'm a
rough
bad person sometimes. I'm sorry.
Do you remember like the Zaibatsu and the what were the names of the gang? You remember all that crap?
I don't remember.
Yeah, there was like the Japanese gang, and there was like the mafia in there. They had all the little things.
The
It was
three
hard to
main
discern
gangs.
anything. They were like the Yakuza-ish ones, right?
Yeah. Were they called the Yakuza?
No.
It was the Zaibatsu.
Zaibatsu.
The something.
It's hard to remember.
Doesn't
The game
matter.
was pretty cool, but it still felt like kind of sad or something. It was just, this is going to get really good eventually.
If you want a taste of that again, play Retro City Rampage. It's really good on
yeah.
Steam if you've ever played that. And then Grand Theft Auto 2 came out more the same, right?
Same game.
Yeah.
They were a top-down,
Right.
nothing different. It wasn't until
They also
3 that
did,
everyone like pulled it back.
They did a crazy British Grand Theft Auto, like British,
Yeah, I
like
remember that.
1967 or something like that.
Yep, they did. It was like a in between. I think it came out after 3, didn't it? Or did it
No,
come out
I think
just
that was
before?
between 2 and 3. I think there's when they did the
Okay.
British
I
one.
don't think I've ever played that.
Yeah, they made one that was in the UK. I remember that pretty clearly. It had like the British taxis and stuff that you could steal now.
What do you guys know about petsovernight.com?
Is that where you can buy pets online and have them shipped to you?
That was one of the fake radio ads on Grand Theft Auto 3.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was one of the really good ones. That was one of the most standoutish things was the radio stations in Grand Theft Auto 3. So,
Yeah.
so what are you guys' fondest memories of Grand Theft Auto 3? Or like, do you remember first playing that game?
It's a weird thing, being able to just be completely chaotic. I've never
Right.
been able to do that. Just run people over and just be a total bastard.
Or how old were we at that time? What were we, like 12?
Well, let's find out with the powers of Google, the Jewish version of Google.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
It's kosher. What's the problem? I'm not. It's just, that's super not racist.
Welcome to the Stereotype Variety Show.
To say Jugal.
I think at this
I just
point
like
you
to say
hit so
Jugal.
many different ethnicities that we're probably good. We're probably just watching.
I'm a white guy. I think I'm gonna go buy some people. There. Now we got them all. We're all bad.
We're gonna go buy some people.
I don't know what to do with this episode.
I was looking at the release date of GTA 3.
I just remember sniping in that game and like people's heads popped off. And I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. Ha ha ha. 12
It was
years
one of like the first console experiences where literally it opened up like after you did that initial you escape out of the back of the jail car, you could go anywhere. I remember trying to wrap my head around that of just being like, oh, I could do anything I wanted now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a crazy feeling at first, but I had played a game called it was the Die Hard game with Die Hard with a Vengeance, and
I
you
had
can
those.
you can run people over in a taxi and like look at it in first person. That was the first time I ever saw that in
Yeah.
a game, except for Carmageddon, I think.
PlayStation 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that game was fun though. That game was
It was really fun.
That's when the fire would come and kill you if you didn't right?
On the Die Hard, it was the Die Hard trilogy video game, so it had 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And the third one, so each one was like its own game. So
Yeah, I
one was
remember.
like a 3D.
One was a beat 'em up, one was a
Yeah.
car riding thing, and you were in
Yeah.
a taxi cab.
Yeah,
Was it the same as the arcade game? Like the actual like
Yes.
yeah, it was.
cabinet arcade? Oh,
Yeah.
that was a good game. I love that.
So I remember that being the first time I was like riding on a sidewalk and mowing people over and just loving it. And then I got deja vu when I played Grand Theft Auto 3, and I was like, oh, this is much better though. This is like the robust, full version of that little sneak peek I got of the mayhem that I'll be able to do.
I think a year ago I bought Grand Theft Auto 3 for $1 on my iPhone. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Is it even playable though?
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. The car driving was a little weird,
Yeah.
but just having an open world like that was just such. How old were we, by the way, Dan?
It came out 10 years ago in a month or so. Came out November 1st, 2003.
So we were pretty old. We were 16,
actually older.
16, 17. It was like the end of high school.
Wow.
It seems like I was much younger.
Yeah, maybe.
I was 14.
Okay, young guy.
Whippersnapper over
You
here.
damn whippersnapper.
That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, it's
Let me get in this Wikipedia real quick. Double check.
no, Google says it.
Google said it.
So yeah, 2003, Grand Theft Auto 3. That it, guys? That all you think about 3? I think that was a big game changer for open world games.
It was the first 3D title in the Grand Theft Auto series. It was released October 2001. Google lied.
2001.
2001. So we were all 14, 15. Josh was more like 12. 13 or something like that.
Right.
So we were young. That was like middle school, freshman year or something like that.
Right.
Of high school. That was a good damn long time ago. And look at the cover art too. It's so cartoony. They went like now it's just like tits on everyone, girls sucking lollipops and stuff.
Yeah, there's no boobs on that cover. Weird. I don't know how it sold.
Back then they had no idea to sell things.
So Grand Theft Auto 3 revolutionized games, a lot of games. It took the open world in a direction it's never been, and
it was about 3 years of everything like, oh, this is just like GTA.
Right. And then a little later on, we met Tommy Vercetti, right? Was his name?
Tommy Vercetti.
Yeah,
Ray Liotta. That was a good one. Vice City was good.
Yeah,
Vice City's awesome. The radio station in Vice City is amazing.
It is.
3 we had a silent, well, not protagonist, antagonist. What is he? Silent main
protagonist.
character.
I would go with protagonist. He's the center of that story.
Right.
He didn't talk.
Yeah, he was silent.
Right?
Yep. And then we moved on to Tommy Vercetti, who was Ray Liotta, right?
Yes, Ray Liotta.
And Vice City was probably my favorite of the 3 that came out on PlayStation 2.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Hands down. San Andreas was fun, but it got weird. I loved riding a bike. That was really cool. But they just threw in everything that... Every idea they were
starts,
like, yes.
It starts with that very Boys in the Hood type of feel, like like we gotta defend the block, and then it turns into this, like it just sprawls out and just goes crazy after that.
What do you think, Greg?
Yep.
Greg just laid down.
Greg, you gotta get a chair over there, man. This is you're too relaxed.
The bed makes it hard not to lay down.
Yeah, it'll make you more assertive if you're sitting on an uncomfortable chair. You gotta
participate.
Yeah, I do participate.
How's Grand Theft Auto Vice City?
Fine.
Okay. San Andreas?
Fine.
Really?
Okay, good.
Just fine though? Between the two?
Vice City is a better game.
Okay, good. I like the music in Vice City. They did a good job with that, right?
Yeah, they did. Josh said it was like that was one of his favorite parts, right?
Yeah.
That was your favorite radio station out of all the Grand Theft Auto radio stations?
Probably. I enjoyed Laszlo on the rock station. I like Laszlo when he had the talk station in 3 and then had the rock station in Vice City.
I think everyone remembers the commercial with the I run so far away, and it was Vice City, and it shows him running down the street.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah, that was a really iconic commercial. And then, like you said, San Andreas got a little too convoluted.
Yeah, that one was strange stepchild of the series.
That was probably the only GTA I did not finish.
Ditto.
I did not finish that.
Yeah, I finished the first. I definitely finished 3. I maybe didn't finish like the second Grand Theft Auto, but I finished the first one. But 3, totally, you had to. It was everyone was so excited about that. And then Vice City, it was still exciting that Grand Theft Auto was doing another title.
Right.
But San Andreas was like, really wore me down. By midpoint somewhere in the game, I was like, all right.
Yeah, same thing. You could work out and you could lift and you could ride your bike and you get stronger, you could swim. At that time, I think it was too much. It was a little, the systems weren't fleshed out.
No, it was like 1,000 ideas executed.
Well, I also think that, you say fleshed out, but I also think that there was no good way to deliver it. It didn't feel like it was concise. No. You would have to literally do a fucking daily routine to try and keep track of all that stuff.
Right. And from a visual standpoint, there is nothing that's enough of a gratification to represent the amount of work that you put into it.
No.
Yeah.
There's no good carrot at the end of the stick for doing all that stuff.
Let's hope they've learned from Grand Theft Auto 4 though, and stop having your friends call you to go goddamn bowling. I'm fucking hookers and shooting everyone in the face. I don't want to go bowling, my fat cousin, please.
But even before that, we had Saints Row in appearance. It spawned a lot of other open world type games. Even in Rockstar's vein, after Grand Theft Auto 4, which was Liberty City again, we had Red Dead Redemption from Rockstar. What other open world games? Help me out here, fellas.
LA Noire came out, which is kind of...
Yeah, but we've had a lot between here and there. We had, what's that one game with Snoop Dogg?
Sleeping Dogs was
Sleeping Dogs was great. What was before
Shenmue.
that?
True Crime, Streets of LA.
True Crime is what I was thinking of. So there's a lot of games trying to follow up, and 4 was great because it was in New York, but I kind of wish they waited because now after playing Grand Theft Auto 5.
No, I think LA is a much better current gen decision.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And if we're following the cycle, that means, well, we skipped one, but I'd like to see Vice City in the next one.
Right.
You know?
Wait, you'd like to see like the original? Wait.
Vice City. Because
that was Miami.
Right.
You want to see it again?
Well, I'm just saying they did Liberty City with 3. They did Liberty City with 4.
Liberty City is totally like, it wasn't based on a city though, right?
It might have been its own thing. But then like 4, it became Liberty City again. And now we're doing San Andreas, which was...
Yeah, I don't want to go, like, I mean, Vice City was awesome for what it was. I think they captured that, like, cocaine cowboys, like, Scarface atmosphere of the 80s. But I'm thinking, like, I mean, because it's based off Miami, like, I don't know, when I think of, like, intriguing crime dramas, the last thing I fucking think about now is Miami, like, in a modern setting.
Dude, CSI Miami? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't watch that show.
Is that the right show?
What's that?
Is that the right show?
That's the right show.
Miami.
Oh, okay,
David Caruso putting the
The
sunglasses on?
glasses. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
What if they did a Grand Theft Auto in a different country?
That'd be interesting.
That'd be interesting. They tried the UK, I guess, once.
Well, didn't they try to make the Driver series a little more like Grand Theft Auto?
I really liked the original Driver. I thought it was a really strong game.
That was before GTA.
It was really good driving mechanics and stuff, but they couldn't help themselves but lean toward GTA. It's like, well, now we got it. It was a whole thing in Driver. You never got out of your car. You never saw your avatar, I think.
No, I think in Driver 2 you could get out.
Right. You could finally get out.
Right. And
I think, you know, like you were saying, a lot of games tried to veer themselves to be more like Grand Theft Auto to, you know, it was the hot thing, especially around that time coming out of like the PlayStation 2 and into the next gen console. Everyone wanted to like have that assimilation.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people were in boardrooms making decisions about, let's make this like GTA now.
Yeah, the kids fucking love this open world shit. Let's do that.
Let's do it.
So, in my opinion, Rockstar hasn't really put out a lackluster product aside from maybe Manhunt, which are they only the publishers on that?
I think that's right.
But Grand Theft Auto 5 is 2 days away.
It's crazy, huh?
It'll be tomorrow when this goes up.
They're going to make so much fucking money. They're going to make so much money off that game.
And the game deserves it, man.
They went back to the Grand Theft Auto 1 formula, right? So,
yeah, top down only.
Yeah, but it's black and white.
When you shoot bullets, it's like round pellets that hit everybody. When you run people over, they just flatten out. So I got hands-on with Grand Theft Auto this weekend. Grand Theft Auto 5. Let's be specific.
Big news.
And like you said, Dan, I think Los Santos, San Andreas is the most perfect flourish to send off this generation of consoles with. I think if they were to set this in Liberty City, it would not be nearly as colorful and jaw-dropping as it was.
Right.
Colorful skies. You can tell about 70% of the environment is the wilderness and in the mountains.
It's colorful skies. That's great. And you mentioned that because Grand Theft Auto has had the worst skies forever. It's always been like a gray box up there most of the time, right?
Well, in Grand Theft Auto 4, you can see the shading and the color.
It's kind of a gray game,
right?
Grand Theft Auto 4.
Very gray. I mean, it's New York City. It's not.
I think they went overboard with the filters on top of it.
But
excited for color now.
In 5, we have mountains. We have wildlife running around through the mountains.
Yeah, we've never seen, and it's climbable. Everything, right? You can explore top down, inside
everything.
out.
I took a motorcycle and I went to like the edges of the limits as far as I can go.
That's what you got to do. You got to size out your area, get a feel for it,
get a perimeter going.
Exactly.
So it's Los Santos is such a pretty place to set this game in terms of types of cars, diversity, and environments between when you're Michael and you're in the wealthy area to when you're Franklin and then you're in the impoverished area. I didn't go hands on with Trevor yet. But thus far, I mean, I don't even know where to start. Do you guys have give me a jump off point?
And you were sending me like shots as you were playing yesterday. Like I was literally trying to watch this Northwestern game and I get these texts from John and like I'm talking to someone and I literally be like, you got to give me, 10 seconds. I got to watch this because this is amazing. And like the stuff you were sending me, I think what was most impressive is how every time you sent me a video, it was something completely fucking different than what, like, literally you were like punching a mountain lion, and then like you sent me another video and you were playing tennis. And like, I think creating that type of dynamic is really, really awesome.
Yeah, he sent me one where he was like beating someone with a golf club on a golf course. Just
So
they're all violent clips.
I can explain.
So there's considerably more, I'll say, events that are going on. You couldn't really go to a golf course in GTA 4 and punch a golfer. Like that wasn't a thing, you know. There are more stations where there's AI there all the time. And
so playing as Michael, when you open up the world map, you have a certain amount of options. I mean, you know, things on the map that you can visit. You have your missions and stuff, but I strayed away from them until the full release. We played one full mission, which I'm not going to get into on here. You guys will see for yourself on Tuesday, but let's just say the swapping between characters during missions is flawless. It is clever.
That's awesome.
It is done so well.
It's big moves for them on the same console doing this big different kind of gameplay style.
Well, the official game comes with 2 discs. A full disc you must install, and another disc you must play from.
Wow.
Right.
Crazy.
That's for Xbox. I'm not sure about PlayStation.
Probably something like that.
So the opposite of the Wonderful 101, there are just, you know, there's triple the amount of things to do, quadruple, 10,000 times the amount of things to do. But they introduce it in such a way that it's like, do you want to go do this? Like, do you want to go play golf? Because we have a full, basically Tiger Woods game in here if you'd like to play it.
It's pretty serious.
You can also get in a golf cart, drive down the driving the fairway, and you go hit a guy with a golf club, get kicked out of the club. You do that too if you want. It's a golf game inside this game. So
they're finally fleshing out these mini games, because there was mini games in 4.
They're not mini games anymore.
They're games inside the game.
So speculation says that, I mean, I've heard, I don't know how credible a source, but when Grand Theft Auto Online launches on October 1st, you and I can just go to the golf course and play 9 holes.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I also, in Michael's house, Michael's the rich guy. He's the rich white guy who's got so much money and his family hates him. You have a tennis court in his backyard, and you basically just play Virtua Tennis for a while.
And it feels pretty good. It's like a good game, good tennis.
There's enough mechanics in it to sell the game by itself.
Right.
I told John that we're going to start our own, virtual tennis league, our GTA tennis league.
Exactly. Unbeatable.
Compared to Wii Tennis.
Well,
I would say Wii Tennis is like a low on the scale of robustness in a tennis game.
Well, you have your front spin, your back spin, your lob shot.
Right.
You can aim your shot just like you would in any tennis game with the left stick. It's all there, except it's colorful now. It's like, when Michael messes up, he's like, fuck you, this sucks. So,
oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Those tinges are what make Rockstar games what they are.
And it's funny how we have this whole world to talk about. We're like, man, the tennis in this game.
It's just like focusing on how well they made this little corner of the game. Imagine how the whole scope of it is.
Right, and I can see how it get repetitive. So each character also has their stats that they start with, and as you do certain things in that category, your stats will upgrade. So when you're playing tennis, when you're done, you might get like plus 10 to strength. Or when you're golfing, you might get like, actually golfing, I'm not sure if it
So
gives
there's
you
actual incentive to do these quote unquote mini games to like boost your stats.
See, but that's what's great about it is there's not incentive to do that specific thing because there are other means by which you can obtain these skills.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to do it all through swimming and I don't know if swimming's one once again, but if you wanted to play tennis to get all your skills, you can play tennis for 10 hours and max out your character, So
crazy. We
also went to the movies, watched a 15-minute movie, sat in a theater, watched a full 15-minute movie.
Was it good?
It was more of a parody. It was like one of those
they do a lot of parodies.
Like 1930s film where it was like all black and white horse with like a dude and the guy one single tear crying. It was like a one of those old black and white movies.
And it's a movie made of all the gameplay. I mean, like in-game footage with like.
No, it's real. It's real people.
It's like real footage.
Yeah.
Oh wow, like an FMV.
No, like film, like photographs of
That's
actual.
what, we're talking about photographed reality.
Yeah, reality.
Where it's real. It's live action footage, not gameplay of direct in-game direction or something.
So all the car customization is still there. Obviously, it's taken to the next level. You can buy car insurance if you fuck up your car. You can buy a new one.
I remember hearing about that. Yeah, so you can keep your garage full with the things you like.
Right. One thing I was shown is when you're Franklin, you have damn, I can't remember his name. You have your dog. You have a Rottweiler.
That's fun. He follows you around and stuff?
Yeah, he follows you around. He gets in your passenger seat with you. He drives all around.
Shut the fuck up. That dog goes with you everywhere?
Everywhere you want. And when
that's awesome.
And when he dies, he respawns in your hideout. So the dog goes with you everywhere. When people attack you, the dog attacks them. If cops are shooting at you, the dog is running at the cops.
Dude, that's sweet.
Yeah, it's really good. And you can apparently there's an app on your smartphone in real life that you can teach your dog tricks when you're not by your Xbox. So I didn't get into any of the stock market stuff. The driving is great. Each character has their own specific ability. So Franklin can slow down, do bullet time with his driving. Michael can do bullet time with his shooting. And Trevor... forgot what Trevor does.
I mean, doesn't he go he has ballistic or goes into some sort of overdrive thing, right?
Yeah, maybe. I think it's different from bullet time. But let's just say that all the comedy is when you're Franklin and you're driving up the sidewalk and you're in bullet time hitting people. It is really, really hilarious. The way people react to your car, the animation, they look like they're afraid to get hit when you're about to hit them. The car damage, I'm trying to cover all bases here, but I'm going to miss something and I'm probably going to misstep, but the car damage is very realistic. Like yesterday I sent you those videos of me golf clubbing shit.
Yeah.
As you're hitting it in the center of the scoop of the car, it's doing damage in that spot. In that spot. A lot of the terrain, like I said, they definitely learned from Red Dead Redemption. It's beautiful out there. There's a lot of stuff to explore. They have parachutes in all the right places.
What about the guns?
Gunplay works really good. I think they took a little note from Max Payne. The shooting feels a lot more natural. Taking cover feels a lot better. It doesn't feel as loose. It's nice and tight when you take cover. You're shooting over barriers. Man, there's so much to cover. I can't wait to just let loose on this game.
Yeah.
So far I've done one mission. It's a heist mission. And apparently heists are something that you can repeat. And you get graded gold, silver, bronze on how you do your heist missions. They're well orchestrated, well put together. All the dialogue's there. All of the same Grand Theft Auto brand of comedy is there.
Yeah, that's super sarcastic, like parody, biting humor.
Yeah, exactly. They have their social networking site. Ready for my favorite part of the game? The whole thing. You have your smartphone, and you can take pictures with your smartphone. That's new. I mean, that's not new to Grand Theft Auto. Remember, you used to be able to take pictures with your smartphone?
Yeah.
Well, now you can spin it around and do a selfie.
So you can take a picture of you in front of like a blown up building and dead people.
Yesterday what we did was I bashed some guy's windshield in and he was dead in his thing, and I turned around and I took a selfie. The guy was dead behind me. So
it's the first thing I thought of too. Just very macabre scene.
Yeah, definitely.
Look at I'm here.
And like he smiled.
Yeah.
Like, what else?
Is you played a little bit of the missions, like just one heist mission?
Just the one heist mission. I didn't want to play too much of the missions until I could do from point A to point B.
Did you know if that was was that the beginning of the game? Did you start a brand new file, or were you just picking up the sticks where it was left down?
I went from my friend's file.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was just some random point in the game.
Right.
Probably not too far, I'm sure.
No, not far at all. I mean, there's also pages to collect, that thing.
Right.
They attach a little game to it, though, kind of. It's kind of like a mystery.
Does the game feel mechanically any more advanced than GTA 4 at this point?
Well, Greg had just asked me about how does the gunplay feel, and I said they definitely learned from Max Payne a little bit, the newer Max Payne games.
Right.
Not so much with the bullet time. I mean, that's there. But
I heard about that.
It feels tight now. I mean, you know how in the Grand Theft Auto series you can just lock on to the character. It feels less. You feel less assisted. It feels a little bit better.
That's good.
It's fine if it's less assisted, but it needs to be tighter. Like, I mean, that was the thing is like, you could pre-aim in Grand Theft Auto 4, but who the fuck wanted to try and do that?
It was a nightmare, yeah.
They did it. It's very tight.
Good.
I also went over to the boardwalk, and there's a couple of rides you can get. Speaking of dangerous rides, there's some rides you can ride. You can go to the top of the Ferris wheel and look out over the city at night. It's real pretty.
Yeah.
We didn't do too much diving into the ocean, but there's a whole nother world down there.
Yeah, you can explore the coral reefs of LA.
We didn't get scuba gear, but we went as far down we could and died. But
crazy. That's going to be out of control. Could you imagine how hard it's going to be to get 100% in this game if you can go in the bottom of the ocean?
Yeah, no fucking shit.
Diabolical.
Yeah, there's sharks. I didn't see them, but I know that they're there.
They really just seem like they maxed out the amount of content you can put in a game here.
But what's the difference between this and the original San Andreas is like they're ready for it now.
Yeah, no, they experimented that. You know, it was like a half-failed experiment, still a successful game. I mean, it made money. But now that they're at this point in the console generation, they know the Xbox upside down and inside out 360. It's going to be perfect mechanically. And now they've like experimented on their different gameplay modules. And I think I'm very excited to get in there and try them all out.
You can ride bicycles again. They're in there.
Oh, that's awesome. I was going to say, if they didn't, that was the hardest thing to understand. Like, where did it go? I loved the little bicycles.
You were doing drive-bys on the bicycle video you sent me yesterday.
Yes, I was. One of my favorite moments yesterday was riding down on a bicycle, and I took out a gun and I shot a tanker that was going by. And
like a oil tanker?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, they figured out this hardware pretty well because there was very minimal FPS loss and it was a massive explosion. Like,
wow.
Very good looking game. I've also heard that there's little difference between PS3 and Xbox 360. So if you're debating which to get it on, there's also leaked rumors that it's coming on PC, and people also today they were going through some data and they found that it was coming to Orbis, which was PS4. Orbis is the code for PS4, but yeah, it makes me curious as to what they're gonna do.
Did GTA 4 not release on PC?
No, it did.
It was like a year later.
Yeah, they always do that, and that's where all the crazy mods, and you can really ramp up the visuals on that on PC.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got a helicopter for a little while. That was nice, and like I said, very colorful. Just.
So welcome now. It felt like that was just their MO. It was just like half desaturated games. 3 was just too cartoony to really even be whatever style or palette. And then 4 was just so damn drab. That was my biggest complaint about the game. Like, you made all this game. I know the colors are there and the textures are there. You have just one layer of color correction on top of this whole thing, just removing. I wish I could turn it off, but and now we're.
That was something that like they were trying to capture with GTA 4, right? Is they were going for that they took it very seriously. They're trying to tell this gritty story, and they're just like, this gritty city, dirty New York-esque city, and then
you're right.
It definitely rubbed people the wrong way.
It was it made its point, but it got like overbearing. It was like does a whole game have to be in sepia tone, because it's like you designed a huge thing here. There
was also a lot of texture pop in and pop out. A lot of limitations when it came to
on what 4?
4,
yeah,
on 4 with 360 and PS4, PS3. Jesus. But there was a lot of texture pop in, pop out. There was times where, like currently in Saints Row, if you outrun or outdrive a certain area, your draw distance, it would not load. I haven't really experienced that too much with this. So I think they've really learned to hone the hardware that they have at hand.
How about that draw distance in Turok?
Oh yeah, Dan and I played Turok the other day.
Talk about some major draw distance.
I also think Grand Theft Auto 5 took some cues from Turok Dinosaur Hunter on the Nintendo 64.
As everybody should be doing out there.
Dinosaurs in the game?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Use a bow?
Okay, I don't even want to talk about this mission. Okay, I'll give you one little side mission, but I'm not gonna get into detail. There's a point. There's people around the world that are random instances that you run into people, and there's this one guy trying to legalize pot. So you talk to him, and he offers you some as Michael, and you're like, and you do it, and it's fucking awesome. What happens next?
They send you weed in the mail.
They send
and you get to smoke with your character.
It's awesome. I'm not going to get into it, but it's really cool. It's kind of like you get a little Saints Row in there.
Leave me hanging here, bro.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna
I
tell
can't see smoking weed like being like a really, unless they like over intensify.
Are you trying to tell me smoking weed is cool?
No,
You
it's
trying
not,
to tell kids that smoking weed is cool?
It's all right. Listen, racist. It's not the weed that's the cool part. It's like the drug. The feelings from the drug is not what you get. It's just funny what happens when he does it. You start facing some kind of enemy. It's cool.
Fun.
So it seems like they have their humor in there. What else? I've only got up to 4 stars, but the AI, very intelligent. The cops are super intelligent. 2 stars is much more of a threat than it used to be.
Right. It used to not matter at all. You drove 3 miles and you're done.
But it's also easy. See, the AI is good. It's much better, but it's easier to lose the cops too, because now the cops don't have a giant radial. They have smaller cones of vision. So you have triangular cones of vision rather than like how can I see through a building? Really?
Metal Gear Solid guards?
Pretty much, exactly.
But 3 stars is a helicopter or what?
Yes.
So then that's a bigger radial thing?
Yes.
Or does that even have it? Oh, it's radial.
And you can shoot those bitches down. And,
fuck yeah. That's what rocket launchers are made for.
Tuesday's going to be a good day for everybody.
Yeah. I guess I just feel like I'm not going to have a hard time getting it. Like, everyone's going to order 50 million copies.
Right.
If it's going to be sold out, it's going to be sold out till the end of the week, and then it'll be back.
No, you probably won't have a problem getting it.
Like,
you got to outthink them. You got to outthink the game, or go to those stores where, like,
Toys R Us.
Target's actually probably the best place to go get those games.
Right.
Or like some department store, because that's a place that isn't going to like have all the pre-orders or the midnight releases.
Totally. I mean, that's what I was going to do. Anyways, like when the iPhone came out, people were waiting around the block for a month, and I just went the next day and took one off the top of 500,000 packages.
So, Grand Theft Auto comes out Tuesday, September 17th. It's one of the biggest gaming events of the year.
Probably the last big contender for game of the year.
I was reflecting on what the past years have been like in games in my life, and this year is huge, man. Like,
it's been a big year.
Yeah, it has.
What year is that? There's one year where it's like 2002 or 2000 and something, where it was like huge. Like all these major IPs dropped. This is one of those years. This is like a banner year for video games, between indie games hitting hard after their first introductory years. We got Kentucky Route Zero. We have games like that being experimental. Then you have games like The Last of Us and BioShock. Then platformers, Rayman Legends. Like from all fronts, we're getting incredible games.
Good horror this year. Great horrors.
Fantastic. This is such a great year of video game. I think I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry about. I'm gonna cry. Now I'm gonna take a big dump for video games. Boop,
boop, boop.
Huge.
All right, so let's get to news real quick.
The world news.
Yeah. I have to put my papers on the table. Good evening, everyone. I'm John Ezzalona with the news. So, G4 is coming back to television.
Hooray!
Well, they technically never left. They've always been here. They're just not getting removed.
Well, it looks like we're just going to have more reruns of Cops and Cheaters.
And College Cops.
Yeah.
And College Cops.
College cheaters.
Things to watch at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Or 5 a.m. Or actually, it's all infomercials at that time.
Was it MXC?
MXC.
Yeah. That was a good show, too. I don't know. I hope they come back with some new original content. Unfortunately, Spike TV kind of has the reins on that now with all video game content.
They lost Sessler, who was like their go-to guy.
Yeah.
It's a whole new staff. Didn't the whole G4 staff bounce?
Yeah, Kevin Pereira's gone. Right. Sessler's gone.
So now it's going to be some
especially
random
after they announced that they were closing it. Like, of course everyone's going to fucking leave.
Right.
Seems like an odd time to kind of be like, oh, no, wait, maybe we should keep this around.
Wait, come back. Like, I remember, because I follow a lot of those people on Twitter, that up to the moment that they were, shutting the show down, Attack of the Show is what I'm talking about, that they were shutting down the show, people were like going to work drunk, like nobody gave a shit. They were saying whatever they wanted. Remember, Greg, wasn't there that one thing when the dude drew dicks all over the screen? Did you see that?
I don't know. But I remember listening to Kevin's podcast and him talking about how no one gave a fuck at the end of the line. It was just a mayhem.
And now they're like, can you guys come back? So we'll see where that goes. I don't think it's going to last very long. But
yeah, they're going to have a hard time seeing genuine.
You don't need a TV network like that anymore. You don't need it.
Nah,
It's taken over.
It's very 2004 or something. It's just not.
Yeah, even more than losing to Spike, they've lost to the internet.
Yeah, big time. I mean, that's where we come in, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
we're way more entertaining than that entire network.
We're the new G4, bitches.
We're much better than G4.
But we would happily work for you guys.
Yeah,
G4,
if you guys
please.
want us, AwayCast.com.
Yeah.
The AwayCast, you just send us a line.
I will work for food.
We have a media package. If you guys just want to scoop us up, we'll do the 4 a.m. slot.
That'll probably.
We also have great packages if that's the sort of thing you need.
We have the Cinemax.
Take out one fucking half hour of cheaters and let us fill it.
Please.
Let us fill your hole.
That's seriously like, it's probably like $2.5 million in advertising that we're talking about right there.
G4, let the AwayCast fill your hole.
Nah, we don't need that. We don't need no stinking network TV. Shit.
Yeah.
Also, in Pokemon X and Y, apparently now you could take your trainer to a stylist and customize them. That's big in the news this week, right? All right.
So you're basically saying that all of those like customizable options from Grand Theft Auto are now available in Pokemon. That's good.
Absolutely. Well, see, I think that kind of news in our news segment would be like a ticker on the bottom, like not really significant.
Right.
Kind of like
we can put that on the ticker.
That would be on a ticker.
Pokemon lost me after like the first three colors, blue, red, and yellow.
That's all I want.
How many Pokemon's there now?
600.
600,
right?
650, 600.
I mean, they add a whole new repertoire every generation that comes out of the game, right?
Play it like Christian and Mason. They play the games like, and when I say to them, I'm like, that's a stupid amount of Pokemon. Like 150 is enough. Christian makes like some good points where he's just like, after we catch them, well, we don't look at it like the show. We forget the show. Like at this point, it's kind of like. I mean, he didn't say that specifically, but at this point, it's kind of like they just need new stuff to catch and new guys.
Right, so they're not
abilities.
They're not collecting them all. They just want the variety in gameplay.
Exactly,
extending the gameplay.
Game. Yeah.
It looks good. I'm looking at some footage right now. Can you viewers at home see it? No, you can't.
No,
this is a podcast.
Do these mics have cameras on them?
Do these mics have cameras? Just true.
All right, so now there's a Pokemon attacking another Pokemon with a bite, and now I wouldn't be a good shoutcaster. Okay, now we got the Pokemon trainer. He's setting a fireball. No,
it looks, it's all 3D and nice.
Yeah, I don't, whatever.
3D-esque.
I'll probably try it.
It's not for us anymore. I can't derive anything from this game.
Can you make the trainer naked? Is that a possibility?
I don't know.
Of course it is.
Then I'm
done.
There's actually
I'm done. If I can't, I'm done. I'm out.
All right, no emails this week, guys. But I think that'll wrap it up for another episode of the AwayCast.
That's it?
Yeah,
is that really all?
How much time do we have?
No, actually, this is might be our longest show we've ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think at the end of every episode, we always talk about how long the episode is. So what do you guys think? Did you get enough of us?
Yeah, I think you need some more.
Well, I'm all out. Josh, you got anything?
No, I'm good. Like we covered it.
Are you doing something else? Josh is already in the next room.
I'm mad. I looked at my Facebook by mistake, and Breaking Bad finished at 9:00, and I didn't get any specific
Just
spoilers.
stop here, man.
Why are you even on the internet?
But
you got something, a little something. Don't say what it was.
No, I wouldn't do that. But I'm pissed at myself, and I just need to. What time is it? 12 o'clock.
I'm
is the next
excited to
showing,
go home and watch Boardwalk Empire because I missed that and I didn't check my phone, so I'm not upset.
I think I'm just gonna download Breaking Bad right now.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, guys. So I guess that wraps it up. So everyone, check out Breaking Bad. Check out.
We support Breaking Bad here.
Support your local Chinese bootleg movie vendor. Support.
Very good.
Oh, I also support Floyd Mayweather. Wasn't he great last night? Did anybody see him fight Alvarez?
Dan's been dying to talk
I
about
didn't
this
see it. I heard he
boxing
won
match.
though.
Well, it was just beautiful. It was just he's one of the most frustrating boxers to a lot of people because he is impossible to hit. And so it was a full 12 rounds of this guy, this 23-year-old kid trying to punch Mayweather, and it was like he was a fucking ghost. It was nothing connected, and it was like watching a surgeon at work, and it was brilliant. It was like an elaborate dance. It's like ballet, but with violence. And that violence is worth $82 million. That's what Floyd Mayweather got paid last night for one fight.
Jesus.
$82 million.
$82 million. How much did the loser get paid?
Probably a lot. I'm sure he got not nearly as like probably single digits $1 million.
Might have to teach myself to Homer Simpson that shit and just get the shit beat out of me.
That's what he did. I mean, the kid was 23 and he stood up for 12 rounds against Floyd Mayweather. So it's like, kudos. He earned that.
And you
for
get
sure.
money.
You got money.
Yo,
and he
what
was,
do you think, Greg? You think you can train?
I'm ready to go right now.
Let's go, guys. Let's go hit the boxing gym right now.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
I pull muscles every time I stretch.
All right, guys. That's going to do it this week. Greg, thanks so much for hanging out.
Thank you very much for having me on the
Jan,
show.
thanks for joining us again.
Love you very much.
Josh?
Parting is such sweet sorrow.
It always is. What's in a name? Any of the roads would smell just as sweet. Check us out on the AwayCast at AwayCast. I almost fucked up our URL, just like you, Josh. AwayCast.com. Watch us on Twitch TV, Twitter, Facebook, all the social networking stuff. eBay.
MySpace.
Do us
Friendster.
a favor. Do us a favor. Drop us a line. Let us know what you want us to eat. We'll eat it, as long as it's not poison. Because I know one of you guys are gonna be funny out there. So that's it. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.